What up?
That's good.
Hey.
All right. See you guys next week.
Yeah. Peace out.
Boo.
What's good, everybody? Welcome back to World's Finest. All right. Hot start.
Hot.
Really hot start. Because in this room I'm in right now, like I'm literally sweating.
Yeah,
like,
and we're all just hot, like collectively.
Yeah. Don't have anything on beneath my shirt or beneath, like, from the waist down, just naked. Just
this is painted. This is painted on. This isn't really.
This is an AI image. I'm actually.
Yo, welcome back. We 2 weeks flew by. Well, so we're back, and we got some topics. Obviously, we're gonna give our thoughts and our we're gonna dive deep into Barbenheimer. What happened last weekend was absolutely incredible with the box office and things of that nature. People came to the movies, y'all, and talk about our thoughts on both movies, man. Both movies, and there's some other news out there. We're gonna talk about the Blue Beetle projections as far as what there's. And I didn't realize until right now that another movie comes. If there's another movie that comes out the same weekend as Blue Beetle, if it gets out box office by Strays, bruh.
Oh no.
Oh, bruh.
Woof.
Also, and you know, if you thought we weren't going to talk about it, you were sadly fucking mistaken. Step Brothers turned 15 this week. We're going to talk about some Step Brothers. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I have a gag reel that I started watching the other day, and I was like, okay, I'm saving this because it's absolutely hilarious. So
never seen it.
What?
You ever seen Step Brothers?
Yeah.
Wow. Meg's a fake fan. So.
I've never seen it. I've experienced it.
Oh, my bad.
Look.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Kimosabes.
See you in the house. The wife is in the house.
Hey,
my wife.
Huh?
Every time this argument comes up, I just get silent.
Rhea says, "Oh my God, Meg has on she has her bear suit on. She's ready to go." Rhea speaking, everybody. What's good, Rhea? Appreciate you stopping through. Appreciate you. That's what she say. Hey, Rhea. This is hey, sup, y'all. The biggest question: y'all think Ryan Choi, the Atom, would have become a main member of the? I don't know.
Yeah,
probably. Well, that was the plan, right? That was X plan. It says, let's see, based on Oppenheimer, I strongly believe Chris Nolan should have directed the Michael Jackson biopic. Man, oh, they're still telling that one. Bro, what? He just came here.
Very random.
Randy, you just blew my shit right off the rip, man. Welcome back to the World's Finest. Yeah.
That would be pretty crazy, though.
Dude, imagine it just jumping back between Joe Jackson, like, and then like King or whatever. Like whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Well, then you go right into.
We gotta start over.
And you go right into Beat It.
Oh.
Well.
Hey. Yo, welcome back to World's Finest. We
getting really hot in my room now.
Yeah, well, it was already hot in here. So after that, yeah, it's I am. Yeah.
I fucked up. I'm sorry.
We were just talking about how we need a drop for when we mess something up or
and there it is.
If we predict something wrong. And that was it.
Yeah, that. Well, we didn't predict anything wrong, but that's probably.
Yeah, we did fuck up. So.
Yeah, who's that?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right, so we're gonna start talking about what we think. So some Blue Beetle projections are out there as far as the box office goes, and like I just said, you heard me when this show started. If it gets outgrows by Strays next weekend, bro, or it's a couple weeks. But anyway, let's bring this up. I'll read through this real quick. It says long range box office forecast. Blue Beetle and Strays. Oh, they put both of them. It says, this week's update takes an early look at two releases slated for mid-August debuts. providing counter programming options in the final week. See, this when it says counter programming, that's exactly what just happened this past weekend, except for those movies were way better than probably these two movies might be. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to movies at the opposite end of the spectrum being in like the movie theater at the same time. So as usual, current forecast ranges for other upcoming films, such as we got Haunted Mansion that comes out before then. Blue Beetle opening weekend range 12 to 17 million, bruh.
I'll say I wanted it to do better.
Oh yeah.
Like I think we were all of the same mind of like, yeah, we wanted this to, succeed because it, looked good, but
not
woof.
Not
awesome.
Domestic total range, bro. Let me tell you something. You're in the movie theater for 2 months and you pull out with it says, look at that, look how big that range is, 27 to 55 million. That's like 30, that's almost $30 million of just like leeway sitting in there. So we'll see what happens. Pros, the DC brand has a modest strength of its own. Relax when it comes to it. Yeah. As they say, okay, so cons with the comic book era not being the novelty it once was. True. Artists have become increasingly selective about which superhero films to spend money on theaters. All right, and then it has Strays. Bruh, look at it's. You see anything familiar there? Or even so they say, yo, I'm gonna tell you, Strays probably gonna be funny as fuck. Probably
look at that dog.
Yeah. He's like, who's Blue Beetle? All right. Yeah.
Fucking stomp on it.
Yeah, for real.
Like, I don't want to see Blue Beetle.
And it does have a strong voice ensemble. Jamie Foxx, Will Ferrell. That's like, you already talking there. So, as in the case of recent Cocaine Bear, early social trends are also somewhat more encouraging than those of Violent Night at the same point before release. So, and Violent Night did well too, considering its budget. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as when it came out and what kind of movie it was, it did fucking well box office wise, like profit or whatever.
To see that.
No, but
so good.
Yeah.
Is it cool?
Yeah.
So, what do y'all think, man?
I don't know. Like, I know it's a pretty big range, so I'm hoping it does more on the high end, but I also hope it does more than 55 million.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we all hope that. We all hope that.
Hoping to be surprised because,
I mean, I also didn't think that. I mean, I didn't think that Barbie was going to make as much money as it has so far. So
yeah, it's true.
That's made what, like 400 million already?
Yeah.
And it's only been out for a week.
Yeah. Well, basically a week, but I think this weekend's and I don't think its drop's going to be like the predicted drop for Barbie, like on Tuesday was like. It was like 50 to 60%, but I don't think it's going to be that much. I think people they're going to go back and see that shit. So, and also with those movies, and we'll talk about those in just a little bit. That's incredible. Oppenheimer's brand is Christopher Nolan, while Barbie's brand is, of course, Barbie. You know what I'm saying? So, like, so there's a difference there. Between either of these movies, they don't have none of that brand with them. And as a matter of fact, if those two movies, Oppenheimer and Barbie, are still going strong when these come out, there's a chance. Which it's almost like a month in between, so there's probably gonna be some. Let's see, release date, the first slam dunk. What is that? What did we watch?
I also think that like Barbie and Oppenheimer kind of like. Not fully, but like they had the help of like word of mouth. Whereas these movies, it's just like I don't feel like it has that power really. Like people aren't going to make an event out of like what do you call it, Stray Beetle or something? Like you're never going to copy Barbenheimer. No. So like
that's
I feel like a lot of movies are going to try to do that now, and it's just not going to work.
No, because
especially
this was so organic. Where it's like, if you try it again, it's just like, okay, we see they're trying to do Barbenheimer Volume 2 or whatever. It's like it's not, it's not going to be the same. And I think these movies are going to.
Phil was good. Homie say think it's going to cross 700. Yeah, I can see that. I see that happening. I see
Wonder Woman.
Sure. What?
What?
Worldwide.
Oh.
he said, hello, Trinity. What's up? What's good, Q? What's up?
Oh,
What
Q.
up? Droga in the house. What's
What
good?
up?
Droga.
Yo.
You know, the thing I thought that would do well with Blue Beetle is that it's like one of the only really family friendly movies that was coming out, but I totally forgot that Strays was coming out, and like I feel
you know what? That type
people are
of
gonna take their family to go see a dog movie over,
then,
you know,
and
a
then not
movie that they
realize
don't
that it's
know
rated
anything
R.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then escort them out 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa,
This isn't Hotel for Dogs.
Yeah. But they bought the tickets.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go. The sales are already out there. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, we're hoping better than the projections, you know, and like I said, man, it's they're not marketing it, you know what I mean? Like it's which I don't watch much TV since, you know, like there aren't but that much sports on, so like I just watch like streaming or whatever, and you know, physical media and things like that, or go to the movies. So like I don't know how much they're playing like Blue Beetle on TV right now. So you know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't call it and say like, but as far as tweets, shit on Instagram and stuff, I don't see much at all for Blue Beetle. Nothing from.
No, I mean the fans literally made up their own hashtag to promote the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it wasn't getting promoted, and you know, unfortunately, with the strike going on, a
Mhm.
lot of that stuff isn't going to happen. You know, like the actual marketing. So
yeah, exactly.
I feel like they should just put this movie. I mean, it's too late now.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah,
but like this and Aquaman 2, I mean, especially after like James Gunn was like, oh yeah, basically we're restarting, so these really don't matter to my plan, but you can still go see them, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I feel, especially when he said The Flash is the best movie he's seen this year, I feel like a lot of people are like, okay, dude.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. For real. Yeah.
Because if people are going to show up to watch a movie about The Flash, and I know it's got like a bigger demographic, like you know, with the representation, so people will go see it based on that.
Yeah.
But I feel like DC fans, you know, that meme where it's like DC fans online, it's like a full theater,
a full crowd, and
yeah,
DC fans in the movie theater is like, bro,
crickets.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I don't know. Out of all the like ones that were coming out, I was rooting for this one the most, you know, over like Shazam 2 and The Flash and stuff.
Definitely.
Because it was going to be like its own thing, but now it's like wrapped up in the new DCU, and I feel like that's just going to hurt it more than it's already hurt.
Yeah.
All right, B, relax, bruh. Talking about what's so good, man.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's a great person.
Boom.
But yeah, no, I feel you guys are 1000% correct. Yeah, and so look, I hope, and plus, like this was one of the ones that like this sort of when the takeover started happening and James Gunn moved in. This was one of the ones that seemed to be untouched. Like for some reason, it just seemed to still settle in that spot because they had a release date for it and it stayed that way and they never moved it. And I mean, from everything I've seen, look, nothing I've seen in the trailers even looks fake. It looks good.
Yeah,
it looks good. And then the first time we saw a picture of Zolo in the suit, remember that shit? Like on the streets, we were like, "Whoa, that's like really Blue Beetle." That's you know what I mean. So like, it looks like they put some time into it. Same thing we thought when they, you know, we saw sort of, you know, some of the background suits, but
yeah, for me, the trailers, like the suit and stuff, looks really cool, but everything else about it seems just pretty. I don't want to say like it just seems.
It's what happens in origin superhero stories. It's
it just seems like something we saw before just replaced the hero. You know.
Yeah.
They're also I'm like trying to knock on it. There's that shot like of like the city, like, and it looks like something out of Spy Kids.
Yo, the city looks weird, bro.
Like it looks like every building looks the same almost. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel you. So hopefully it does decently when it comes out. Man, I hate to see like that much work. And obviously, you know, like I was just mentioning Batgirl, when that shit happened, like who's excited for Aquaman 2? Are you really excited?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to see Amber Heard. That's about it. As Mira,
okay.
but
okay.
I do feel very bad for fucking James Wan because it's gone through what 3 reshoots now.
Yeah.
So
that is the most insane part of it. That's
bro,
why,
imagine
like,
being James Wan and taking notes from fucking James Gunn.
yeah,
He's the only one to make like $1 billion movie in the DCEU.
and he's having to fucking have somebody say, "You need to cut
fucking
this,
notes from that guy.
cut this, so that later on we can do." Now, chill. Also,
could you put Peacemaker in it?
we want to tackle a serious plot point that Aquaman fucks fish. Can you write that into the script, or what do we
want to nail that home?
Yeah. Like, we know we can't show full penetration, but like,
if we can,
let's work around it.
I mean, hey, if he can bust off in it.
That's a $2 billion idea.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Jay's gonna try to make Aquaman a joke. Probably. That's so here's the thing, that when it comes to Aquaman, that's the one thing that I'm like, I don't know what to expect from that at all. Because when
it was described as like a buddy cop
between
humor.
him and his brother, yeah,
which I think I saw a comic cover that comes out with the movie, and it was like Orm and Aquaman, like swimming together or something. And I'm like, man, I hope it's just not them just swimming together. Like, you know what I mean? Just like, I don't know. When I hear buddy cop, I just think of campy and cheesy.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily bad, but I think the one thing that people complain a lot about with the first Aquaman is the humor and the writing was just not there.
Well, also it's also not bad to want seriousness from superhero movies either. Like we've gotten.
I can't believe you just said that.
Woke.
That's a hot take.
But like I don't know. I'm not trying to like put a like overgeneralization on the Marvel movies, but a lot of them were humor filled. We had that for so long. It's okay to want movies that don't do that.
Don't do that.
You know, and that's not even that isn't necessarily an insult. That's just saying I'd like a more serious take. And it is crazy to think. I think was it Axel who just said like he's making him a joke again or whatever.
Phil. I think Phil.
Phil.
He's making up. Yeah.
But like, it's crazy to think about. Yeah, how like in the past 10 years, just the 180 that has happened from like making Aquaman serious, and then within one fish fucking joke, and he's already it's back to he's like the caricature.
It's back to like, bro. Let me tell you something, man.
And I love the first Aquaman. I
me too. I know that it has
great. It has its issues. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I like there's parts of it.
It's fucking really epic, dude.
Yeah, it is. It is. Oh, no, like that final battle scene. I've seen it a couple, not more than a couple times, but I've seen it enough times to be like, there's almost no flaws in the CG in that battle scene. That shit is fire. Especially the kiss between him and Mira when that happens, and there's like this. It's epic, man, and so like to see like just the actual amount of times they're going back to change this movie. I wouldn't be surprised if the last time fucking what's the name wasn't even there. He's like, yeah, I'll take that. I'm gonna go. Well, James Wan was like, I'll go take care of some other business. Y'all do.
Yeah. Well, I forget where I saw it. It might just be like a rumor, or I don't know. I read so much shit every fucking day. But it was like basically Peter Safran and Jason Momoa are like running the reshoots or something like something that not maybe running it, but like they're having more of an input than maybe they would have beforehand.
Yeah, probably because James Wan's
like is and I say this as someone who loves Jason Momoa, like him, the rumors of him having more creative control over this, plus Gunn and Safran, like it's striking me as like a Thor Ragnarok thing where you know, people are going to use that excuse of like, oh, well, it's just the main actor, like bringing more of himself to the role. And I'm like, that's not really a good thing though. Like if I wanted to see Jason Momoa, like him being Aquaman so far has been great. There's been a couple hiccups, but like it's been great. And kind of the same, it was almost the same thing with Chris Hemsworth with Thor up until Ragnarok. I was like, this is awesome. And then it's again, you try and make the character more like comedic and true to who you are or whatever. It's like
but you're not playing yourself. You're playing like I can see something like that with Deadpool, where like Ryan Reynolds is already a goofy, funny guy. And he's just like trying to maybe make the humor more like stuff that he would say. But like this is Aquaman. He's a very multi-layered character. Like, he has humor for sure.
Yeah.
But like what we've seen of him since like even the filming of the first Justice League movie. Like it's all just been joke. Other, I mean, in Aquaman, he has very serious, heartfelt moments for sure.
He does. Yeah.
And I feel like that was a perfect mixture of like being the character and being yourself. But like, I mean, I didn't watch Peacemaker, so I can't really talk to the.
It was bad.
To the cameo.
It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah,
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
And I can't. I mean, I saw the Flash, and I saw the end credit scene, or it was an end credit, right?
Yeah.
I get that one confused with the Clooney one. I forget which one came first, but and it's just like, I don't know, like you see these characters and the way that they're treated in all these other movies, and it's like, where's the like where is it disconnecting? Like I understand like directors have their own visions for things and the way that they want the character to be, but like if it's just a cameo, why are you like changing like the character, like, and like that's what people are remembering, like you're gonna remember the bad more than the good, especially when as of late it's all been bad. Like I don't know, I think Aquaman 2 is still gonna be good, like VFX wise, and I think that like the original stuff that James Wan did is gonna be good. I know that it was like testing bad. But I feel like there's a lot of things that probably go into that outside of like the movie itself, So who knows? But I don't think that James Gunn has done it any favors, like really. And that's why I feel like just do what you have to do and just release it on Max. And we're fine. Like as shitty as that would be, because I would love to see it in, the theater.
Yeah.
It's just like they're just going to be losing more and more money. Like how much more money can you lose?
Well, and it's again, like you said, they've already written it off as like this isn't part of the new universe. So why would people get invested? It's you might as well just throw money into the fire. Like it doesn't. It's at this point, these last two movies. Not that they don't matter, but in the grand scheme of things, according to the guy in charge, they don't. So I'm not going to blame anybody for not wanting to get invested because,
Yeah, and you think back at like what the original post credit was supposed to be for The Flash, which was supposed to have Batfleck in it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know the entirety of the scene. I don't know like if it was released, what it was supposed to be, but like, and then you see the like the reshot one, and I'm pretty sure James Gunn had stuff to do with that, right? Like he wasn't he in charge of doing, or like he gave notes.
Maybe you're probably right. I just
I don't know. Everything gets so jumbled together.
Well, as soon as I saw that movie, I was just like, cool.
But it's like, and then you look at like, okay, so he's giving notes, and this is the note he gave, was to put George Clooney in it.
Yeah.
When this is like the last scene of this huge best comic book movie of the year. The last scene.
The lasting images that you want sort of people to like see and like take with them if they're to the next movie, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it was.
Like this is
he never coming back.
10 years, the culmination of 10 years of the DCEU. And this is the final scene.
And it's George Clooney. Okay,
Well,
if you did,
and
if
then
you
to take that even further, like he goes and Arthur's getting drunk with him and stuff, and he's like, so there's a different universe and there's a different Batman, blah, 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 blah. And then he falls in the puddle. Barry walks away, so we're to believe he's still in the Clooneyverse, but Jason is still there, and so he's stuck there forever. Doesn't matter. We're never going to get an answer. Like it's
like the only character that looks different in the multiverses is Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I know we got off on a tangent, but it's all,
Hey, Phil, appreciate you stopping through, homie.
Good but it's all connected, like all of these complaints that we have is just like, but I feel like maybe Blue Beetle will be the least confusing out of all of the ones that we've seen so far. Cause like, I mean, as much as we're like into all of this stuff, The Flash was still pretty confusing to me on what the fuck it was trying to do.
Yeah, exactly.
And, we're in this day in, day out. Like, we're constantly messaging each other, sending each other stuff, talking about stuff. And, the more you think about The Flash, unfortunately, the more you think about it, the more it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, and that's what sucks is like Blue Beetle is going to come out and it's not going to do that well. But I feel like out of all of the ones that are coming out this year, it's going to be the one that's like,
probably the best.
Yeah.
Like out of like once the year's over with and we've seen Blue Beetle and watched Aquaman, I think as a whole for what DC has put out this year, live action.
I was just about to say out of the 3 DC movies that came out this year, because I forgot Shazam already came out, so that's the 4th one. I forgot about that movie.
Yeah, I literally did. Just when I just said that. Yeah.
Oh my
Everybody
God.
did.
Yes,
yeah.
It did. And
Zachary Levi even forgot that he's not Shazam anymore. He's still holding out hope. I can respect it if it wasn't so fucking pathetic.
His future as Shazam, it doesn't exist. So.
Yeah.
No.
And it's
got him.
Boom.
And it's funny because once it became apparent that they're not putting Batgirl out there, right? And that's what's funny about all this Aquaman reshoots too. They didn't do really. I mean, of course, the Flash got pushed back like 3 or 4 fucking times. But once it became clear that we weren't going to see Keaton and Batgirl, like that wasn't the direction they were going anymore. They never came back and did any kind of reshoots to the Flash, and when it came to Keaton scenes. So it that's another one. When the movie ends, you sort of get like this. That's the only thing they added was Clooney. And you're like, bro, Clooney ain't never like you just showed Clooney come up first off with a beard, show up as Bruce Wayne, knowing Clooney's probably like, y'all just gave me $30 million to do that. Peace. I will never come back to this role again. So like they just ended that with that for no reason at all. Instead of, how about this? How about you fucking film some scenes with Zolo from fucking Blue Beetle? Actually advertise your next movie. Bring him in at the end of The Flash, and he just there. Yo, what's good? The Flash. I don't know what the context would have been. Yeah. But if you're trying to sort of promote the next shit you have coming, why not do that instead of, like I just said, because Clooney ain't coming back, bro. I guarantee you they gave him the fattest check to do that. He's like, nah, I ain't about to go to the gym and work out so I can damn get physical enough to like play Batman again. Peace.
But also, like, it's interesting because, the movie is full of fan service, like, and unwarranted. Like, it's not like
nobody asked for it.
Nobody asked for this. And most of the movies that you guys put out, you fucked with so bad that people like they're horrible movies, And so you put in all this fan service. Why not give fans the fan service they want and have Henry Cavill and Sasha meet and have Wonder Woman meet Supergirl and have, like, I don't know, maybe some of the Shazam family fucking show up or something that actually pulls in the 10 years of the story that you were trying to tell. Like,
that's why you really can barely compare this movie to like No Way Home, because like that movie fully was like fan service done,
and it was
done
like
right.
Done right, done correctly,
and it was like, earned fan service.
Yes.
Yep. It was,
but like with this, it's just it makes no fucking sense. Like, at least The Rock tried to do something that people wanted,
Yeah.
bringing back Henry Cavill.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like, I guess, like, I understand that, like, that's not James Gunn's Superman. That's not what he was going for. But if you know that you were already rebooting, why not just keep Henry Cavill's shit in The Flash?
Yeah, they might as well, because it would have been the same thing as Clooney being there at the end, and he ain't coming back. You know what I'm saying? Henry Cavill's not coming back, so they could, yeah, their original ending, it was supposed to have like Sasha Calle and Henry Cavill was supposed to show up right there at the end, and it would have been Keaton, because we saw the set pics of him getting out of that smooth ass car. With the fucking toupee and shit on or whatever, like he had in the movie or whatever. But like, yeah, that was the original ending. So yeah, if you're not gonna get, you might as well just kept that in there.
Yeah.
And also, like, this is gonna sound like so childish, but like the one F-bomb that they use in that movie is for that moment, and it's like for comedic purposes. But people bitched about the F word being used in Zack Snyder's Justice League like 4 times.
Yeah.
Like they bitched about Batman using it, but like in that moment they were like, "Oh, because it's Clooney, he doesn't recognize him." It's like that felt,
it's still,
again, very unearned.
And yeah, it did.
Like,
yeah. It also felt like that was in the script. Like, it's one thing for lines to be fired, but when you hear a line in a movie and you feel like it was in the script, you're not supposed to feel like it was in the script. You're supposed to be. He said, "Who the fuck?" I was like, oh, "Okay, here we go with this one."
Well, and the whole Clooney thing, like, on its own, I'm just going to take a wild guess. They saw that like everybody pretty much knew beat for beat what was in this movie, who was in this movie, what cameos and whatever. And they were like, "Oh shit, we got to throw it up, throw this out the window and like mix it up a bit." And like for shock value, pretty much, because we were taking the worst Batman, like, not knocking Clooney, like, whatever. He was just giving.
He did what he could. He did what he could.
But we are taking the Batman from the worst Batman movie, and who everybody's again bitched about for the past 20 years, and we're putting him in here to have it be like, oh, yo, crazy, and then again, it never gets resolved. He's always perpetually in my mind going to be stuck in the Clooneyverse, because like we're never going to get a follow up. So who cares?
Yeah. So we're just at the mercy, pretty much, because we're not executives. We don't write the movies and stuff. So I don't know that's one of those things when it comes to like what the future of what we have to look forward to. I'm just even kill. I can't get hyped for that shit, and I'm not like underwhelmed by anything of it, but I'm not fully prepared to just be like, yo, James Gunn is the fucking savior though, until I see something that he's put out. You know what I'm saying? Like the people who are just like, yo, he is going to what you ain't seen not a fucking thing he's putting out there yet, but he's the savior. Relax. That's you know what I'm saying? Like it's just relax just a bit, okay? Or just thinking that Superman Legacy is going to be this absolute fire. And again, we don't know.
Because if the strike goes on any longer, they're not going to be able to do shit with that movie for a while.
No.
And we've already spoken about what we think he's doing behind the scenes with that shit. He's still right. Yo, WGA, he's still right.
Well, the rules don't apply to him, so
it's not even like anything against him. Like, do I think that he, like, if he would actually be doing that? I don't think he wants to be doing that. But do you honestly think a guy like David Zaslav is like, oh yeah, dude, don't worry, you don't have to do that. Don't just pick it up when the strike's over?
No, he's like, you better fucking deliver. I guarantee you that might have been his exact words. You better fucking deliver.
Because it's like not illegal. Like, he would get kicked out of the Writers Guild if someone found out about it, which would be shitty. And I wouldn't think that, like, because I don't like a lot of James Gunn stuff, and a lot, like, the things he says kind of like annoy me. But like, I would never think that like someone would like go behind and do something scummy like that. I don't see him as like doing that on his own free will. They're like, hey man, if you don't do this, you're not the DC CEO anymore.
He's like, shit, I must write. Because I mean, besides his brother being out there on the lines, like when was he out? It's been almost a month since I saw that video of his brother out there on the. Yeah. James Gunn ain't said nothing about the strike at all.
He hasn't said anything since the casting announcement of Metamorpho.
Yeah.
Which was, I think, the day before the strike.
Yeah.
Which, you know, it's nice not to see DC Twitter on fire every time he tweets something out, so that's been nice.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I do wish that, like, people, like, you know, Christopher Nolan's like, oh, I'm not going to make another movie until this is figured out. I wish more people had that attitude, you know?
Yeah.
And maybe they're not allowed to say anything, you know? Who knows? But I try to give him the benefit of the doubt, even though I don't really like James Gunn, but I'm trying to be fair as possible.
Yeah. Don't I
don't want to be labeled as a cultist.
Yeah, no, I feel you 1,000. And that's you know, as people like us who, you know, just get on here and give our thoughts on what's happening, like that's what you get labeled as when they
Yeah, I agree, RJ. I think it is a smart thing to do for him just to not be tweeting.
just shut up, dude.
Yeah. Well, and also if he is back there doing some shit he ain't supposed to do, stay off before you say something dumb. And they're like, wait, what'd you just say?
I know there was like a tweet going on. It was like a screenshot of, because someone accused him of writing or something. I don't remember. I think it was maybe Threads, and he responded and said that he wasn't writing or something like that.
Oh,
but I don't know. And like I said, if he is writing, that sucks. And if he's not writing, that's cool.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, exactly. Since he hadn't said anything, so there's that. So hopefully that this we started talking about Blue Beetle, what it might do at the box office when it comes.
I mean, well, that's the thing is that until like we see what's actually going on with the DCU, I feel like the conversation is always going to come back to James Gunn and like the movies that came out this year and what the fuck they were like thinking.
Yeah.
Because, you know, okay, before we move on.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, they were saying how, they cut out Ben Affleck's scenes from Aquaman 2. And everyone's like, oh yeah, obviously because it's not going anywhere. Why are they going to tease something that's not going to go anywhere? And this is how I know I and us two, well, you two and me, us three are like the only ones, or like the only ones that saw fucking Shazam 2, because that end credit scene, that's obviously a James Gunn note, and teases Shazam.
I forgot what it was.
Well, it teases Shazam joining the JSA.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It shows Harcourt's there.
So it's okay to tease that, but you're gonna cut out Ben Affleck's role because his role in Aquaman 2 wasn't a post-credit scene or anything. It was like an actual scene.
Yeah.
So you're gonna cut that out as hopes of not, you know, getting fans' hopes up, but you'll keep the fucking JSA Shazam 2 scene.
Yeah. See?
Well, the audience is only stupid when it fits, you know, James Gunn's
That's
narrative.
True. Yeah, that is true. They got the what's that guy's name? I don't
gotta
even know
use my wife. I can cut out Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, Schmen Affleck. Let's get Amelia Harcourt in here.
Yeah,
she's the new Batman.
That'd be funny.
Yeah.
The Shazam thing isn't happening. Like, it was pretty obvious.
Yeah,
like
I remember when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck? What is, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like the way it was leading on, because, you know, at the time I was like, hadn't seen the Flash yet, obviously, but like at the time I was still like, but most of this shit is not like, it's not
happening.
No, it's not. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did reference the Avengers. Well, he said, the Avengers or something like that, and they're like, oh no, the Justice Society, and because he wanted to join the Justice League. Yeah, the scene felt weird because you're watching it and you're like, why the fuck would he join the JSA?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe to go after Black At, like, just again teasing something that's not going to happen. So it's okay to keep it in that movie, but it's not okay to keep a scene of two actors that have worked together before. Literally, they're Justice League members. They've been in how many scenes together? But we're going to cut that one out, but we'll keep the JSA one. And we'll keep the Clooney one that makes no goddamn sense.
Makes none.
Something that fans actually wanted? Oh, yeah, we gotta...
Yeah, this is for real DC fans only.
Yeah. Can we put Peacemaker in it?
And RJ,
RJ, that's true. That's true. Mr. Mind.
Yeah.
Dude, he's been teased the whole fucking
the
first and the second movie.
Yeah, and then guess what? He ain't doing it. We're not gonna see it.
I feel like that is actually kind of like a funny running joke if it is one. You know, that like the trilogy comes out and he never actually fucking...
Someone just steps on him.
The only time you see him is that one little piece or in the credits for the first Shazam when he's like in fucking what's his name, Sale or whatever, and he's just like saying some shit to himself and trying like Shamala, relax, bro.
He just sounds like fucking Superman, dude. I bet the bearded dude is gonna play Kilowog.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, I can see that happening.
Michael Clark Duncan will always be Kilowog to me. So R.I.P.
Yeah,
Peacemaker is in Mortal Kombat. Yeah, we know. Man, really cool to see all the DLC characters. Really cool to see all the women they put on there.
Yeah. Nope, got to put Peacemaker in there.
Got to put 2 Superman level characters, Peacemaker and some other guys.
Omni-Man and
Omni-Man and Homelander are basically like the same character.
Meanwhile, what's his name? Who's in charge of Mortal Kombat? Ed something.
Ed Boon.
Ed Boon, yes, yeah.
He was adamant that he'll never put Hawkman in the Injustice lineup, but he'll put Peacemaker in the DLC for Mortal Kombat.
Why wouldn't he put Hawkman?
I have no idea. I just remember hearing that, like, I think when the second one was coming out, he was like, I'm never putting Hawkman in. It's like, why the fuck not?
They put Hawkgirl in it, didn't they?
Yeah. But still, it's just like,
maybe he just doesn't like Hawkman.
Why? Because he's most of the time his characters. What? Yeah, there you go. And here's the thing: yes, he said Omni-Man and Homelander, they are cool, but they didn't put they put oh my god, they put damn it, what's the fucking name? I done lost it already.
Homelander.
And no, in Call of Duty, they have Homelander.
Snoop Dogg.
What? Yeah, he is in
Nicki Minaj.
Oh yeah, they got.
They are all, I'm talking about
Black Noir, Homelander, and Starlight.
Oh.
Starlight, that's right. They have those on there. Yeah, they do. But it's not like the Mortal Kombat where you get to actually play with their powers. It's just a skin in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
You know, they still run around with Uzis and they shoot motherfuckers. and if you ever played it and actually seen it happen, it's actually fucking hilarious. Like Homelander's running, he's like,
I think I saw some TikToks of it.
Yeah, and it's hilarious because those characters would never use guns. They don't need them because they're fucking super. So it's funny. It's funny. Like the first time I saw Starlight, somebody had him, and like I murked him. I stood over and looked, and it was actually like a really accurate, like
like a 3D, like
yes, the skin is really accurate. I was like, yeah, is that her? Nah. But yeah, no, it's good. But no, I feel you. Yeah. New Call of, or not Call of Duty, but new Mortal Kombat shit comes out. They're like, yo. We get all these dudes. What about Starlight, man?
What about some ladies, you know?
Yeah.
And I see that RJ said Harley Quinn's going to be in it, and that's cool, but maybe find some other.
She's been in those kind of games before.
Yeah. Why are we?
Yeah. She's
like
in
to branch out, you know?
Yeah. That's it. Just fucking because you announced that you know you have that cool picture, and obviously you had Omni-Man, and but right behind them Homelander, and it's just like I got you, but where's the
bro, Kamiko?
I was just saying, Meg had that suggestion.
I tweeted out Kamiko. I'm like, that would be insane.
Dude, her fatality.
Queen Maeve, hello?
Yeah, yo, but Kamiko will be because you just said her fucking fatality would be absolutely incredible, dude. That shit would be insane.
Make you vomit.
Yeah. Probably. All right, so let's move on. So something else happened this week. Something else was released on Wednesday. We talked about it on when we came back a couple weeks ago. As far as we were we were at that point in time, we were 4 episodes in. Secret Invasion finished this week. Now, you know what? I'll tell you, man.
We didn't endorse it, you guys. We didn't.
We fucked up. We're sorry.
We didn't. Yeah. Sorry we told you to watch it.
Yeah, I spelled thoughts wrong on that little thing I just put up. It was like pops.
Did you put thoughts like the whores?
No, what? That's what you know what? Fuck that.
That would be accurate.
Hold up.
Are you changing it?
Oh, it's Secret Invasion. What's up?
Oh.
All right, y'all. So Secret Invasion.
Thoughts. Oh my god.
Oh man. So Secret Invasion, obviously, it's they hadn't missed a week, so it came out literally like a month and a half ago. And look, man, I'll just start with this. The first 3 episodes, after I saw them, I was like, Secret Invasion is up here. After the show was over, down here, bro. Like my hand you can't even see how low that show dropped, man. Such promise. I still go back to that conversation between Fury and Rhodey, like in that empty bar. That shit was fire, dude. Like the dialogue was on point. Everything about that entire scene, I was like, this show, it might actually save these Marvel shows, man. Since Loki, nah, actually didn't. The last episode was a CGI fest, and it was like the one of the weirdest fucking fights I've ever seen in anything in my entire life.
Amelia Clark got her jack off arm out.
Khaleesi out there with Drax, I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on? But yeah,
it's funny because like that was like I feel like the finale was one of the shortest episodes.
It was,
but there were so many times where I just kept going, is this over? Or like it felt like an hour and a half or so.
Yeah,
it was just like stuff happened, but it didn't.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. It was almost like I said, man. They had it going. Especially what was at the end of was it end of the second or third episode when you found out Fury's
the second.
Yeah, I was like, that's dumb. Like the endings of the episodes were fire. And it was just like it was like, oh man, they actually like really wrote this series. They actually like put some thought into this for the future of what's to come when it comes to like the movies and things of that nature. Bro, I don't even did this even feed into the movies? What are we doing here? I expected the end of this to somehow lead into their next big project, which is the Marvels.
Yeah.
No. He was just like, he hugged his wife. She changed back to a scroll. He was like, yo, let me clap them green cheeks. And they fucking went up into the space. And that was it. I was like, damn, nothing about the Marvels whatsoever. Knowing that that's like their next sort of thing. So this show an espionage. It was. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I watched the 5th and the 6th episode like back to back. And I'm sitting there like, and even the 5th episode, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then the last episode, you're like, okay, like this, if you would have told me if you showed me the first episode and the last episode and said that they're connected, I would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah, for real.
Like all of the vibes from, the first 3 episodes are totally gone by the ending. Like it's supposed to be the spy thriller, espionage, you don't know who you can trust type show. And then it's just like the end is just like any other Marvel show. And it's just like a big CGI battle. And like, I will say, like Gravik's CGI did look still pretty good during the end fight.
Yeah.
But again, it was just like a gray, sloppy mess.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing, like it was almost like that wasn't the original ending of the show. And they just like put this together.
Yeah. 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 Like the screenplay had something different in mind. And they were like, oh.
But you know what? Now we know how shitty that those writers get treated. Yeah. So I wouldn't fucking.
Yeah.
If I was them, I'd be like, this is what you get.
Yeah.
This is what you wanted. This is what you get.
Yeah. No, I feel you want that. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
And then like Rhodey's been a Skrull since fucking Civil War.
Yeah.
So all his good line at the end, which you know, as much as you can talk about Civil War, I do like his line when you know, the man himself walks in. He says, "I got a package for Tony Stank," and it's funny. So that ain't Rhodey, bro. That's
not Rhodey that fucking says goodbye to Tony as he's dying.
I don't think that's Rhodey, but I think Rhodey. I think it's actually Infinity War. I could be wrong, but like, because Infinity War, doesn't he still have the leg braces?
Infinity War, he gets the leg braces in
Civil War.
Civil War,
and then he still has them in Infinity War, I think.
Yeah.
So either he's keeping up the charade of, you know, like I'm hurt, I'm Rhodey,
which he would have to, because they were like, "Yo, how'd you heal so fast, bro?"
But then he was in what was he? Was he in Falcon and Winter Soldier or something? He was somewhere where he didn't have the braces, so it's just like.
Oh no! Yeah, once we get to well, shit. I think once we get to Endgame, he doesn't have the braces no more, right?
Yeah.
Does he? So, yeah. So it's like that's an odd thing that, because like a video I watched earlier, which there are plenty of them out there now, since considering that, you know, the news about the, you know, him being a Skrull or whatever. But like there's a video of like the last time we actually see Rhodey is when Iron Man rips the mask off in Civil War.
Yeah.
When he picks, you know, when he falls to the ground and he shoots he comes like, "Is he okay?" And he's like, "Pew," shoots him away. And that's supposed to be the last time we actually saw the real Rhodey and shit. I'm like, damn, bro.
Yeah, because there was an article that got put out, and they were talking to the director of the show, and basically asking like, "Yo, how long has he been a Skrull?" And the director says, a lot of people have asked about definitively when did Rhodey ... become a Skrull.
Yeah.
Secret Invasion director said that in an exclusive interview, "I think his leg's not working in the end of episode 6, and him being in the hospital gown points to Captain America's Civil War." Fucking hold on, I just got an ad that popped up. And from there, it does not have to be definitive, or is it more fun for the audience to go back and revisit every moment, every Rhodey moment, and look at it with a different lens, now that they think, oh, he might have been a Skrull there, and make a decision for themselves on how it'll be answered in Armor Wars. Huh?
Yeah.
Amen.
So we have to. You want us to go back and be like, was that Rhodey?
You do the work.
Yeah. Secret Invasion director Ali Salim thinks that Rhodey has been a Skrull since Captain America's Civil War.
Yeah,
you think?
That's it. Yeah.
Bro, you're the director.
Maybe a flashback would have helped or something.
Yeah.
Because when I remember thinking, like, when he came out of they woke him up in you know, those little chambers. Yeah, what? And then when he kind of tried to step out, and then, you know, of course, Amelia Clark's like, yo, let me get you your robes or whatever. I was like, is he still fucked up like that? Or I thought maybe at the first that maybe just being in that thing for so long, his body, you know, atrophy or whatever they call that shit, where your muscles sort of, you know.
They shouldn't have had him so much in the show. I think he should have been like near the end of the show, and like maybe there's a scene where you think like, oh, is he a fucking Skrull? And then leave it at that.
Yeah.
Because now it's like you're going to go back and watch all this stuff and nitpick at it, and it's never going to be the answer you want it to be.
Yeah.
And you're going to watch Armor Wars, and you're going to be like, oh, I did all of that for him to not be a Skrull, or he was a Skrull for like a week or something.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking it's going to be weird.
But yeah, overall, I would say it was like the reverse of Loki for me, because I didn't really like Loki the first few episodes, and I really liked Loki by the end. And I really liked the show in the beginning, and the ending is just,
yeah.
Like, and I'm pretty sure it was like the lowest watched.
Disney
Plus show.
I didn't hear anybody talk about it really.
Yeah.
Let me. Matter of fact, Keita, let me find, because there's a and I deleted it like an asshole.
Yeah, I like what RG said. Why didn't Carol or Monica show up? Why isn't the show being continued in
exactly? And a show that when you see, because I saw it in both things, but Barbie and Oppenheimer, the trailer played. So like it's very fucking Fury centric. Marvel's trailer, like you see how it starts off, right? So like, why is I got that's where he was at. He came back down to earth. I don't understand like why there was no because they don't have anything else. So like this show ends with such a sort of bad vibe when it comes to the fans and the views and things of that nature and the scores as far as critics are concerned, and they just didn't think at any point in time we should like sort of put something in here to have people hype for our next movie, which is the Marvels that comes out in fucking just a few months. You know what I mean? Like it just nothing is connecting there and shit.
Well, and it'd be one thing if like, you know, if a long time ago they had established like Marvel doesn't always have to lead into anything at the end of, you know, whatever. And it's like, but we are there now. It doesn't matter.
Is like teasing your next Avengers movie.
Yeah. So like you can't just use the, you know, not saying they are, but like you can't just use this excuse of like, oh, not everything has to lead into something. It's like, well, but it is like, it's, you know, he's going to be in the next.
Why make it?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah, for sure.
And exactly because Captain Marvel starts out the Skrull storyline and like it plays so well into Secret Invasion. When you're watching it, you're like, oh shit, I can't wait to see how this gets threaded into something else and how this gets explored in the Marvels or how this is going to branch off into Secret Wars. And you watch you're watching the show in the end and Emilia Clarke's character Gaia gets all of these powers and you're just like, huh? Like, I understand that like Super Skrulls, like they're very powerful, obviously. They have a ton of powers. But like this chick got the fucking Hulk, Thor, Valkyrie, Captain Marvel, who's the strongest fucking Avenger.
Drax.
Yeah, Drax, Black Panther, all of these crazy characters. And it's like, okay, are they teasing her to be like the villain of Secret Wars or something? Because she's gonna go crazy with all those powers. But there's no connect. It's like it wants to branch off and be this big thing and like set up this big thing, but it's also trying to be low key. Like it's not trying to be like, you know, I don't know. It's not trying to be like something crazy like WandaVision that is like a big huge thing.
I don't think Drax is. I don't think those are tattoos. That's just his
yeah,
skin.
I think that's his skin.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's our thoughts right there when it comes to Secret Invasion. They fucking started off on a bang and they just didn't stick the landing. They just I don't know. You know, and that's become pretty commonplace when it comes to some of the shows they put out there. It's because we talked about it, 200 something million.
$212 million.
212 milli, bro, on this show. And they spent fucking 75% of that on that battle at the end of the last episode. And it was not that good. Not that good at all. Not that good. So real quick, I just saw some stuff and so we're gonna run through some real quick.
It's about to get X-rated. What?
Yeah, hey RJ, I think the money went to that last
There's some fucking money laundering going on, I swear.
Yeah, well, you know what? Even considering the last scene, when I first watched it, when it started, I was like, it's very stupid. It doesn't look bad. But then by the end of it, I was like, okay, what are we doing here? Her arms look like balloons. This shit was just, I was like, come on, bro.
Emilia Clarke is such a small woman, too. She's very petite.
Yeah, and they like Drax's arm on her and shit. I was like, no, this is just doesn't, you know, it just doesn't look. Yeah, that shit doesn't work.
Has Sam Jackson been in any other Marvel shows before this? I can't. He was in. I feel like he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. like one.
Yeah, he showed up in the very first episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, the very first.
But like, I guess like strictly like Disney Plus. Has he been in?
I don't remember.
So it's
I remember he was upset though. I remember after Black Panther got released, the first one, he did say, "How the fuck you have a Black Panther movie with no Nick Fury?" I remember him. Yeah, he was mad about that. They didn't even come holler at him for it. So,
well, and it's like obviously not you know knocking him at all, but when you have Sam Jackson in every episode of your show and it still can't get like
people to watch it.
That traction. It's like something's off here.
Something's fishy.
This is a load of barnacles.
I thought one of y'all was about to play. Oh, here it is.
This is a load of barnacles.
All right, so, bruh.
What?
A list of movies that have been delayed.
Oh, I just saw it from Discussing Films.
Oh shit! Oh no!
Yeah.
Okay, I'll learn it in real time. Okay, I'm scared.
Wait, where the fuck? Okay, here we go. I'll pull this up right. All right, so real quick, list of movies that are comic movies now set to release in 2024. Madam Web, is that shit zoomed in enough? Let's see.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Madam Web, Deadpool 3 May 3rd, Venom 3 July 12th, Captain America 4 July 26th.
Yeah, Anthony's favorite movie.
Whoa. Craven the Hunter August 30th, Joker 2 October 4th. I know, bro. And I remember we didn't get it because that news dropped a little bit after our last episode. Fucking Dune, man. Dune might get pushed back. Bro.
Yeah.
If only there was an easy, simple solution to all of this.
Yeah.
AI.
Hey people. Hey.
Robots.
Yeah. And Thunderbolts has been moved to December 20th of next year. So let's see. There's a lot on here. Beyond the Spider-Verse has been delayed indefinitely, bro.
Dude. That fucking sucks.
Bro. Indefinitely in this bitch.
That's
a fucking.
I don't want to jinx anything. That like is usually never a great
good. No, it's
like.
It says here we go. This is what Meg was just talking about. Many of the release delays announced this week are due to continuous efforts by studios to not return to the negotiating table and make fair deals. Right. So these motherfuckers won't even come back to the table to have discussions. They just gonna delay them. You're delaying your own money, man.
Yeah,
but they don't care because they're still it's disgusting. Pay these people, man. Pay them. Not even just so we get movies. Just pay them because they deserve to be fucking paid. Bad Boys 4, July 2. What you do? Bro, why? Wait.
Hold on. My God. I'm not hating on this movie. I can't give two shits about it though.
No, I know.
Me neither.
But it's been delayed 2 weeks. What is 2 weeks? What is 2 weeks going to do for your?
The stars can't promote the movie, but the audience can.
And they're not.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now. Probably every movie I've seen since May in the movie theaters, that trailer has played. Guess how the audience is in there. Yeah, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. What up, William? Thank you. Appreciate you stopping through the show, man. Look for anything that's coming out to it. Yeah, hey, man. Yeah, man. It's such a.
I'm sorry. Is the movie? Oh, your movie has Orlando Bloom. Cool. Is it Lord of the Rings? No. Then I'm not seeing it.
Yeah. He said Bad Boys 4. Yeah. I'm sure it will when we see it in 2030, bro. By the time we see it, Martin Lawrence and both Will Smith, they all gray haired and everything.
They're gonna be geriatric boys.
Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel has been delayed, bro.
That was good.
When was that supposed to come out originally?
December.
That's not too bad then, I guess. But I'm mostly pissed off about Joker 2.
Yeah, me too. And Dune. Well, Dune hasn't been confirmed, but it's coming. It's coming. Sony says they are considering multiple dates for Beyond the Spider-Verse, depending on how long the strike lasts. Pay these people. I want a taco. Venom 3. There you go.
What that tongue do, though?
Venom.
Something.
Craven the Hunter, bruh.
Craven.
That is not movie. That is not from the movie.
That is not movie.
What?
That is not a still.
Seth Rogen calls Oppenheimer the ideal edible scenario. What?
No, dude, I would probably pull my skin off.
Yeah, dude, I will tell you right now, I could not imagine watching Oppenheimer high by any stretch of the fucking imagination. There's no fucking way.
The bomb goes off. The bomb goes off. You're like, I'm dying for real.
Yo, the scene where the chick's skin is flapping off at the damn little
dude.
The scene where Florence Pugh gets.
Don't talk about my wife.
Other scene where Florence Pugh gets.
The scene where they test the nuke and the sound goes off. You'd be like, I can't hear anything.
The first poster for Loki season 2. Hey, here we go, man.
Nice.
He's running
Can't
around
wait
the
for
clock.
that to be delayed till 2027.
Is he in his Oppenheimer era right here? His little hat on right there. What's he doing?
He is the destroyer of timelines.
Destroyer of time. Hey man.
Well, I guess
October 6th, y'all. They're on schedule. They're on
his lady sister thing.
What is Seth Rogen? Why is he?
It's the same picture too. He's like,
yeah.
Seth Rogen says he has not worked on Marvel DC film yet due to fear of the process. I say that knowing nothing about the process.
Bro is always high.
I have a lot of thoughts on things.
Bro, he says,
does anybody want to interview me on a random Friday?
Yeah, for real. And look how he looks right there. Like he's just like, yo, he won't work on a Marvel DC film because of the process. Yet I know nothing about the process. What the fuck?
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's fucking insane. He's insane. He's insane. Amazing. What is this? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we talked about it. What'd you say?
Nothing. We won't be repeating.
Yes, we will not. Here we go.
Bad boys.
Huh?
What
you want? Oh man, we don't. Paramount Plus, y'all about to. Paramount Plus
I'm so excited for Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I do want to see the bad.
I'm taking my nephew to see that next weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Gonna get some pizza too.
Probably.
Some pizza.
Maybe mind your
Also,
own
Paramount Plus is
business?
probably about to.
You could just order me some pizza too.
No.
Okay.
Is that supposed to be? Oh, it's just right. Kate Kerber told us about the picket line how streaming, which is a very small credit on TV. On streaming, you get paid through a really complicated formula based on scrap. Oh, that's terrible, bro. Damn.
Yo, how
based
hot
on
is it?
subscriber count?
How hot is it over there right now? I can't imagine like the heat that we're dealing
Oh,
with.
yes.
I couldn't imagine striking in that.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh.
Yeah, too bad it wasn't really him.
I don't want to see that.
A puppet.
Yeah. Too bad it was not. It was not. That just popped up.
What did say? I'm glad I didn't blink.
Yeah. He said I'm glad.
Even though his cameo was like the fucking longest one, other than Christopher Reeve.
And also, he was the only Superman actually doing something in his little clip. Like he was actually like doing some Superman.
He was like fighting like a brainiac spider.
Yeah, the one that was supposed to be like the villain of the movie, like that.
I would have had more respect if he was fighting the polar bears.
I would have more respect if he wasn't in it.
That's what I was just saying when I just saw that Peacock thing that came. Their Peacock is about to lose mad money, bro.
Yeah, dude. You think about like this streaming shit, and it's like, how do they even like as a business model? How do they even make like outside of the subscribers? They put all of this money into these shows and these movies and stuff, and it's like, how do they really even quantify spending that much money on a movie when it like doesn't even have like a limited box office run or something like that?
Yeah, you know what? I'd actually like to read something that would sort of break that down, because that's a good point you just made, Meg. Is that like,
thank you.
It would seem on surface level that the only money they make is from subscribers. So when they spend, Droga, get out of here. Droga, get the fuck out of here.
She muted me again.
Oh, she. To each be their Netflix, but it doesn't work. Yeah, but see, that's a good question. Like, how besides subscribers, how does Netflix make money?
I know they do like the limited, like for big stuff, they'll do like limited theater runs, and you know, I know that there's like I don't know, probably brand deals that they have, like product placement and stuff like that. But like, how are you making your money?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Streamers, because and look, they do have movies that are on Netflix that are from other studios and things of that nature. Like the Arrowverse, those shows were on there for a certain amount of time. I'm sure they got some money from WB for that shit as far as putting them on Netflix and add to recent. Yeah, they do have
like you even look at the budget for Stranger Things. It's like, how the fuck do they even afford to make anything else?
Yeah, that's the Stranger Things budget for this final season. I bet it's going to be out because like the season 4's budget didn't come out until after it was out and everybody loved it or whatever. And then you saw the budget, like, damn, bro, that's like 3 cool movies you just made. Like that's like the amount of money that they spent on the show. And I'm like,
yeah, but William, what is that? Make money of the collective volume and advantage. You have to stop thinking in terms of box office standards to understand that. Yeah, but what is that?
Yeah, what is
We don't know what that is.
Streamers make money of the collective volume and advantage. Okay.
So is it like amount of people that watch a certain title? Is it, they put ads
but it's
in where
still,
they can? I don't understand.
It's still like when it comes to what you just said, the amount of people who watch it, like open it, say for just like last weekend, they Clone Tyrone came out, right? So you have, but like, how do you quantify it when it comes to, like, me and my wife watched it together, but if you live in a household with like 7 people, right, and they all watch it at 7 different times, it's still the same Netflix membership. So like, how it's not
maybe
like,
it goes by watched minutes, because I know that if you like, let's say let's use Army of the Dead for an example, like they said it was like one of the highest watched things. If you watched like 20 minutes or more, it counted as a view, or 2 minutes or more, and that counts as like a view. So like, do they count it as,
well, I get that if that's views, but how are you making money off of? You see what I'm saying?
It's like they're paying themselves for the view. So it's like,
see, it's such an odd thing. Like how literally
but maybe it's like the studio. Like, let's say they worked with a studio to make an original. Maybe in their contract, it's like, oh well, if we get X amount of views on this, you have to pay us this amount of money for hosting it or something.
Yeah, that could work.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's such an odd thing to just say.
It is, and I feel like they didn't really like, they didn't maybe expect streaming to get this crazy popular. And I don't think they expected the downfall of streaming to happen so soon. Like, because I mean we all have streaming services, but like, I can tell you, I don't use them as often as I probably did 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I mean, I watch it for like when we watch Righteous Gemstones, I make sure I watch that when it comes out. But I don't know.
Oh, Raya's got a point right here. She says, one example, if they continue to grow subs and revenue every year, their stock goes up. So if they're making, okay, so that's another, probably another, she said they continue to sell shares at a high money and use that liquid capital to produce content. I could see that. So that it's the investors that are sort of,
yeah, for sure.
And Netflix probably does better because
they're
just like the movie
streaming service.
Yeah, they're the original, right? So but if you think about, obviously Rebel Moon, and that's in December, but like they Clone Tyrone or Extraction that came out in June, like those type of movies are like sort of Hollywood level movies that you would see in a theater. So they come out on there, and I guess I guess I could see that if when a movie is about to go into production for Netflix, their investors are the ones who sort of pay, you know what I'm saying, foot the bill, and then they sort of recoup, and whatever they make off on top of that is profit. I guess it's hard to tell. He just sent me a message. Oh. Let's see.
It is interesting though, because then you can see where the writers and the actors are coming in and being like, well, this show, let's say you made this show 20 years ago and it was super popular and you're getting residual checks on it, and then the popularity goes down and a streaming service is like, oh, we need more content on our streaming service, so we're gonna buy it. Becomes super popular on that streaming service, but the way that the contract is that the studio gets X amount of money, Netflix gets X amount of money or whatever.
Yeah.
And they don't really negotiate for the residuals because they're like, oh, well, maybe we don't know how to, I don't know, properly, like, how are we supposed to know how much to give them? Because this isn't live TV, it's totally different or whatever. And then they get like pennies upon pennies to the dollar or even to like the $10. Like some people get nothing.
Yeah.
So it is interesting, and it's really sad to see the studio. Like, we all know that like studios are never the good guys, right? Like
No.
rarely are they ever the good guys.
Yeah.
So you see this happen and you're just like, there's such an easy solution to all of these problems. It's just you're making millions and millions and millions, hundreds of $1,000,000 a year, and you have nothing to give the people that feed your content. Like Bob Iger gets another fucking yacht, or David Zaslav gets another fucking yacht, you know? And yeah, like it's cartoonishly evil. This is literally like, it's like these people, yeah, like the people striking. Like, what did it say? Like 95% of SAG workers make less than like $25,000 a year. That's less than I make, and I do fucking nothing compared to that, right?
A lot of them don't qualify for like health coverage.
Yeah, a lot of them don't qualify for health care, nothing. So they have to get like another job on top of a demanding job of being a writer. So it's like, it is so evil. Like, just pay people what they like, reformat the residual stuff and just pay them more.
Oop, my bad.
It makes no sense.
Yeah. For real. No, that's valid points. It's like, that's when it comes to this strike thing. That's why it's just, man. And then the shit that I saw today where they were talking about, they're just gonna get rid of some contract. They're like, yo, some of these writers' contracts where they had like that, what's it called? The what Zach has with Netflix for, it's like the first
look deal. Yeah.
First look deals. Like, let's go cancel some first look deals for some writers. Just cause they fucking strike, and it's like, yo,
well, that's the thing. Like, Warner Brothers gave J.J. Abrams how much fucking money, and he never did anything with
it. Yeah. Yo, that is the most ridiculous. And every time I'm reminded of that, because I do forget about it, but like when I'm reminded of that, I'm like, yo, they gave this dude they gave him $500 million. Like that deal was that much, and I was like, oh, he's gonna make some deal. And he didn't make nothing. and now we just out here like, yo.
But they can't even pay the people that actually produce things for them.
Yeah.
Livable wages.
Matter of fact, where you at, JJ? I ain't seen you out there giving no support.
Well, and it's like they don't pay them, and there's, virtually no reasoning. Yeah. Like, even if they try to explain themselves, it just would probably just sound like a bunch of bullshit.
Then they just gave Christopher Nolan a lump of money just because it's like a good faith thing.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, that's what we're saying, Will. Like, Warner Brothers gave J.J. Abrams all of this money and then never did anything with it.
Yeah, they were just like, yo, take this and
if I'm giving someone even $50, I want to know what they're doing with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
you pay somebody to make you like a fucking smooth logo for your YouTube channel. You're like hitting them up like after about a couple of days, like, how's it looking, bro?
Where is it?
I heard from you.
Then you get fucking blocked. Left on red.
That's probably what happened. Like, yo, damn, JJ, cold-blooded, homie.
But I guess they just didn't care where that money went. They'd rather just waste $500 million on JJ Abrams than give it to people that fucking need it, that like are starving, don't have health care.
The strike. What's going on with this right now?
I'll go to the studios tomorrow and be like, I'll do nothing for $500 million.
Hey, I'll do nothing for $10.
Yeah.
Can I get a studio tour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, bro. And they won't even give it to you.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So, look, I don't know, what's going to come about that. We just, what I'm saying? We're just waiting here, just like, wait and see, I guess.
How long do you think the strike's going to last?
I think the writer's strike will last way longer. And it started way before. I just think when that news that came out today about them saying, okay, well, we'll just cancel a bunch of this stuff that we have with you. this first look deals and things for the writers, that told me, okay, they're not, you know what I'm saying? They're not, you know, they're not any way interested in paying them right now anyway. So who knows what happens when it happens. But
you don't think it'll be handled in like one fell swoop of like the actor and writer strike? It'll just be
if it happens in one fell swoop, I'll be fucking surprised. Like I'll literally be fucking flabbergasted by that. Like, oh wow, they really
I kind of would too, but it's also like, you know, it kind of would go hand in hand of like, okay, but if you agree to pay more to the actors, what are they going to have to act on? Like, you still need people to write this shit, you know?
Yeah, and
like,
I don't see SAG just letting
yeah,
them get some and somebody else not getting some.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they would be like, okay, well, we'll agree to this if you agree to what the writers want, you know, or if you guys meet somewhere in the middle. I don't think that one will go without the other.
no,
Yeah, no,
I think it's probably going to last for a while. I don't think that
William says 6 to 9 months, bro.
Yeah,
that's
nice.
We see what you did there. Yeah, I think it's gonna last probably till the end of the year.
I
don't think
say right around the end of the year. Yeah,
which is nuts, dude.
Yeah, it is. It is, and that would what I just brought up about those delays and pushbacks when it comes to the release dates and shit. If it lasts to the end of the year, there's going to be a lot more of those. There's going to be movies that are probably supposed to start fucking shooting in January. They'll be like, nah,
like Superman Legacy.
Yep. That's.
I don't see that movie really doing. That movie's not coming out when it's supposed to, if it ever does. I mean, I know that there's people that are fans of James Gunn, and it sucks for them that they're like, oh, cool, my favorite director is going to be doing a new Superman movie, and like, it just seems like the worst timing ever. You know, I'm in charge of DC Studios. And now it's on strike, and I have all of these plans, and they're just not going to happen. Because I am excited for some of those, like Swamp Thing and Supergirl. I'm excited for those.
Yeah,
but I don't see it. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, no,
not for a while, at least. You know,
or ever. Who knows?
Yeah, please.
See you later.
Yeah, maybe the legacy was the friendships we made all along.
Break a legacy.
Yeah, imagine if it's like Justice League. What is that? Mortal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, William.
Yeah, I feel you. I do agree with. Yes, I got you on that one. It because even if it had started filming when it was supposed to, like in January or whenever it was supposed to start, that's a lot. That particular film is. Plus, it's starting starting a new cinematic universe. Yeah, Superman legs. We talking about drunk.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with RJ. Like, I definitely feel like they were trying. Like, the reboot is always gonna leave a bad taste in people's mouth, and the farther you get away from that, the better.
Yeah.
So
I feel you.
Or just don't do it. It's too late for that. But,
It's stuff has been cast.
Who knows?
See what's going on. Yeah, if Superman Legacy does come out on time, then you know he was behind the scenes illegally filming a fucking movie, like not illegally, but against So
morally.
Yeah. There you go, morally.
Thanks.
But we got a couple movies to talk about, y'all. Came out last weekend.
Which ones?
What? Which one we talk about first?
Well, let's start with Barbie, since
Barbie.
Barbenheimer. It's Barbie. Too bad we don't have Barbie music.
You want some?
Well, I mean, it would probably get copyrighted.
I play music every episode.
Joey just kept singing.
What?
What
was he? Yo,
I wanna push you around,
but I will.
I'm just can't anywhere else I'd be.
So, we all know what took place last weekend. We've talked about it a lot. You've seen posts and things on Facebook or whatever, not Facebook, on social media in general. Barbenheimer took place, and I talked about it on Monday on my show, just how glorifying it was at the box office.
Wow,
last
William.
weekend.
Boo, William.
Yeah.
What he say? Damn, William, you don't like Barbie, but we were talking about just how the box office has struggled this summer, and these two movies were scheduled to come out on the same weekend. Neither one wanted to move. That's one of the impressionable songs.
It was. I've been listening to that song because it's on Spotify.
Yeah.
And I listen to it and I'm like, Ryan Gosling is just good at everything.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. And so there's been a lot of talk about it, and of course, there's been a lot of coverage of it when you're talking about streamers just like us who like to talk about these movies. But I thought that this past weekend, seeing the box office on Monday morning was incredible. I thought it was. People showed up, man. People like literally, really, really showed up for these movies. Like, just think about how far apart you're talking about. A movie from a doll that was created was like the 40s or something. Like, it's like way back, right?
Yeah.
Right. Got a live action film. Then you had a movie about the fucking atomic bomb. Couldn't be more different in tone.
Yeah.
And we were talking, I think earlier, but I think it was before we started about, if people try to replicate this, it's not going to go well. This was the perfect storm, the perfect blend of sort of two different genres of film, and it was absolutely incredible. And of course, you guys have heard my Barbie story. I'm not going to tell you again what happened when we tried to go see. We had to get another showing or whatever, just because bitches in my seat. So bitches in my seat, but. I'll just say quick. I do realize, and that's why when it's you look at certain people who covered Barbie and sort of some of the things they had to say. I was like, they didn't make that shit for you. Shut up. Like you know what I'm saying. Like there's a certain way that you understand, and it's just like if when Transformers, the original live action Transformers movie came out, that's who you think that was made for. It was made for fucking dudes who grow, and so. When it came to Barbie, I went into it with an open mind because I wanted to see it. I was very interested. I wanted to know how they were going to take the doll and sort of make the story compelling enough that you're like interested in it. They did a fucking fantastic job with that. Like the reason they gave to why Barbie had to come to the real world was incredible. Like I was like, yo, that's believable as fuck. And it just wasn't like a gimmick or anything like it actually had some feeling to it. And I remember we were watching it and I kind of leaned over, and when there's that little sort of when she's like seeing what was happening between the daughter and the mom, America Ferrera and her daughter, I was like, I think it's the mom and not the daughter. You know what I'm saying? Like I just caught that from that little bit, and she was like, Mom was like, oh, it probably isn't. Like so, and my wife absolutely loved it. She was in tears at the end, of course. When the creator of Barbie, like sort of shows up, and it's Rhea Perlman, and she's fucking amazing, and it's like incredible. But I thought everything about there was nothing in the movie that like I was like, there was some of the jokes were a little too silly for me, but I would just but they were still funny, and I would be like, why did he say that? And the split thing, bro. Let me tell you something. I didn't know what that meant. I was like, the splits, and my wife was like, yeah, and she just because she already knew what it was, obviously, because she had the toys or whatever. But I thought it was great. Obviously, because it's going to be owned in this household on physical media, whether I like it or not. Like it's going to be owned, but I enjoyed myself. I thought that the writing was absolutely incredible, and Billie Eilish dropped a fire track for that shit for sure. Yeah. So that's my thoughts, man. Who else wants to go?
Go ahead, Meg.
Yeah, I mean, I love this movie so much. They're really like from the time it started, I was like already tearing up, like the opening scene where it's like Barbie can be anything because women can be anything. And it showed all of the different Barbies with, different body types, different abilities, different everything, like jobs. And it's, I don't know. It's weird because when I was a kid, I played with Barbies all the time. And what the movie made me feel like was that it reminded me of that feeling when you're a kid and you're like, I want to be an astronaut when I grow up, you know, and you think you can do it, you know, like you're like, yeah, I'm going to be an astronaut when I grow up. And it's like that childhood innocence and naivety that you have, and then you go to the real world, and then it just gets like you grow up, and it's like, oh well, I can't be a fucking astronaut. Like, come on, you know. And the one thing I really did love about this movie was how it comments on how corporate companies will be very supportive of like feminist ideas, and they will sell the idea of women can do anything and women can be anything to make money, but do they really support it?
Yeah.
You know, like with the Mattel boardroom scene where Barbie's like, I want to meet this CEO.
Yeah.
And she's like, I want to meet the CEO. I want to like, and she says like a name or something. I don't remember. And Will Ferrell's character is like, oh, I'm the CEO.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you're the CFO. And then it goes like down the line of all of these men that are, you know, on the board and stuff. And how they think that putting out this doll of a woman that can be anything and can do anything fixes the real world problems and the real world situations where maybe women aren't as privileged in certain, you know, areas of work than, you know, another person. So I think I really liked that message, and I'm surprised that Mattel let them kind of bag on them that hard in the movie, you know. And you know, the theme, like Greta Gerwig is just, she's so good at showing the female perspective, especially like a mother-daughter relationship, and like how complex that is, and like all of the complicated feelings that women have, and how like America Ferrera's monologue in the movie where, you know, like women want to be perfect, and you know, you can't be too fat, can't be too skinny, can't be this, can't be that. You get blamed for everything, but you know,
you're expected
you're expected to be perfect. And I don't know, it's just, I walked out of that movie like, you know, I cried like I think 3 times in the movie, and then as the credits were rolling and they're playing the Billie Eilish song, you know, I was just sitting there, and my boyfriend's like, oh, so did you like it? And I was like, yeah. And I just started sobbing. And, you know, you look at the audience, at least in my movie, it was packed. Like, we got the last 2 seats because we had to cancel our showing before. And so we had to go to the next one, and it was like there's literally 2 seats left, and we got it. And you look around, and it's like, you know, I don't go into a movie thinking like, oh, this movie isn't made for me. Like, you know, I watch movies all the time that aren't made for me, you know, like action movies and super macho movies, which I love, right? You know, I love Terminator, and I love Predator, and I love Rocky and The Godfather, and I love Zack Snyder's Justice League. But
that was made for you.
It was. But you know, I'm sitting there looking around, and I'm like, I honestly can say this is the first time where I was like, wow, like this movie was literally made for me, like which was, it's cool. It's really, it's cool, and nothing that like only women can enjoy, because obviously you guys loved it. It's made a shit ton of money, but I loved it, and I love Greta Gerwig, and you know, I don't really necessarily think they need to make a second movie. Like, I think this is good on its own. And Ryan Gosling was awesome as Ken.
You know what? Not to cut you off, but
no,
I do want to mention this because I don't want to forget Kate McKinnon. Holy shit,
she was great. It's weird Barbie.
Weird bit. No, that shit was. And then she would hit the splits, and I'd be like, "Yo, what the?" It's such a.
It's so true, dude. I had so many Barbie dolls that like were just fucked up from just playing with them too much, you know. And you know, I was sitting in the theater after we were like driving home, and I was like, man, I wonder where those ended up and like what because I had some fucked up Barbies, you know, like their legs were falling off and stuff. And but before I forget, I do want to say that I think that this movie isn't just like a story for women. I think that like you can see Ken's character and all of the Ken's characters and see that like this is also a story about like men trying to find their place too. And like you don't have to like necessarily adhere to like these guidelines of what is a man and what isn't a man.
Yeah.
Like you can have like when Ken goes to the real world and he sees like all male CEOs and male run businesses and how he goes into the hospital and he's like, well, I'm a doc. I want to be a doctor because I'm a man and stuff like that. And when he goes to the library and he's like, I got to find books on horses and trucks, you know. And I do think it's a really interesting way to show that like, you know, being a man is just more than like trucks and horses and and it's like I like at the ending how it's like the patriarchy's made up, you know, like it's not, it's like it's a thing that people made up to like for society. So like as long as you don't adhere to it and you go by your own rules, and you see that like how Barbie apologizes to Ken about like ignoring him, and she's like, I'm sorry that, you know, I didn't pay attention to you the way you wanted, and like, you know, Barbie Land doesn't have to stay the way it was. I don't know. I thought it was interesting. I don't really see people's complaints about how it was like putting men down, because I feel like it was equally a story about Ken too.
No, it was most definitely, especially when it came to him getting there and seeing all that stuff, and then like the way he, and it's crazy too, because I was like, motherfucker, you just gonna leave her there? Like he saw Barbie, like might have real quick, that scene we've already talked about it, when America Ferrera's daughter clapped on Barbie. I was like, damn, relax, homie. I felt so bad for her, because she was just like, but this is all I've known is
but I'm Barbie, like
exactly. And she's like, yeah, you know what you did? You gave women, you know, you made people look at their bodies. It was like this whole thing. I was like, damn, relax, bro. Damn, went hard on. But what you think, Joey?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty woke and
women, am I right?
No, I thought it was really good, and you know, kind of echoing both of your reviews a little bit. Like I do recognize that it wasn't made for me, but like it can apply, you know, to me and to, you know, any other guy who gets the point of the movie. Whereas it's just, and I think it became kind of inadvertently meta in the sense that like, you know, it's saying, like it's not saying men are bad. It's saying toxic masculinity is what's bad. And you don't always have to, you never really have to adhere to that. Like, it's just all about, you know, finding that comfort in yourself. Just, you know, knowing that you're a guy without like doing all this, you know, all the things that define masculinity, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, so it became inadvertently meta because I've had the conversation with a few other guys like at work and stuff who are like, yo, did you really see Barbie? Like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. Why? It was good. You know, like it's you don't have to just.
But it was made by a woman.
It's about Barbie. Did you not know that? Oh no, I couldn't tell by the title.
So was the Hurt Locker. Relax, bro.
Yeah.
But no, it's really just that moment of you know, whether or not you like believe that you can't see this movie because you're a dude, it's like this movie allows you to abandon that way of thinking. And I thought it was really just well made, and like performances were really good. Like you said, Kate McKinnon was awesome. Her delivery, and there, because she has a couple of those scenes where she's like you're gonna become like, if you don't fix everything, you're gonna become like me. And Margot Robbie's like, oh no, and she's like, okay, that was kind of hurtful, but
yeah.
It is
Oh,
so
dude,
funny, like the cellulite thing, and it's like
Yeah.
that's Barbie's like fucking mortal enemy
Yeah.
is cellulite and flat feet, and it's like yes, it's extremely exaggerated, right? Like it's satirical, but like
Mhm.
I don't want cellulite,
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
exactly.
I have it, you know, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I don't know, I loved it was definitely played up, like the
Yeah. Mhm.
like the flat feet, you know,
Yeah, they're like, and
yeah.
everybody say,
But yeah, I don't know. I
Yeah.
thought it was really awesome, and I really
Yeah.
want to go see it again because I feel like out of the two, Oppenheimer and Barbie, I think Barbie is a little bit more rewatchable just because it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
so. Whew.
Not
Well,
heavy. Yeah.
I'll I hate to use this term when it comes to what we're about to talk about in just a few minutes. Oppenheimer is, and I'm not even going to say it's borderline, um, but I don't know if you guys ever saw Passion of the Christ. That's a
Yeah.
one watch. You're never watching that shit
Oh,
again
yeah.
after you see it one time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oppenheimer isn't that extreme, but it's also like it hits hard as fuck. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to say Barbie didn't, because it did. And like I said, I know that will own it. Real quick, I like to say that the sets they created for that movie were fucking incredible. Like the
Yeah.
Barbie
Yeah.
world was insane.
Like a
Like
stage play.
It was
Yeah,
it was very believable too. Like you felt like you were actually looking at a like a
bro.
play set or
A
whatever.
lot of it is real. Like
Yeah, yeah,
all of
Yeah.
it, like Barbie Land is like the sets, like the dream houses are real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they built those. Yeah.
Um,
And they did all of that, and the budget still was not even.
mhm.
It wasn't even like an astronomical budget for that movie as well.
Yeah.
But that with the sets that look good, there were certain scenes where like when it even I was watching it and I was like, I see that. Like when the food popped up on her plate, you know what I'm talking
Mhm.
about? Like
Mhm.
that kind of stuff where she really wasn't drinking and all of that shit. Like I saw that. I was like, I feel that, you know what I'm saying? Like I understand why that's in here. Like I understand why you know what I'm saying? Like why like they put those things in this movie, because when kids play with Barbies, and that's another thing is when Barbie when Barbie would float down, like I can't remember where I read that, but somebody was like, because when
Yeah, you
you're a
grab your
kid, you don't
doll.
walk Barbie down the
Yeah.
stairs, you
Oh,
just
yeah,
take her
yeah.
down to the car. Like, and that's I was like, yo, that's like literally sort of like going an extra mile when it came to putting this movie together with
Mhm.
certain just stuff like that. Because they didn't have to put that shit in here. Like, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like it could have been stuff you could have looked at it and said, like, they just did this, and this, and they'd be like, yo, but the stuff that they did, you understand exactly why they did it. Like, so I thought all that shit was very well put together. So yeah, I'm I too don't think there should be a sequel at all. I don't
Yeah, I think it did all right with
yeah,
the one.
I think it's
I also like the Meg was pointing out like the corporations like not like trying to say like, yeah, we're with feminism, but then
Mhm.
not really like echoing it very
Yeah.
well. The bit like at the end when all the CEOs and stuff get to Barbie Land,
Mhm.
and he's like, they were asking, would they ask like if what was Barbie's ending gonna be or something, and
Mhm.
he's just like, yeah, she gets to be with Ken, and they were like, no, that's not. He's like, I
Yeah.
don't know that. What do you want? I don't know.
Yeah, and then like the ordinary Barbie, she's like, why can't there just be like an ordinary Barbie?
Mhm.
And he's like, oh, that won't sell. And then the guy behind him is like,
He
it's
does the
selling
numbers.
by the truckloads or
Yeah.
something like that. It's just,
Yeah.
it is very funny how out of touch it shows like corporations are.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
oh, women want more representation. Well, let's make a astronaut Barbie. You know?
Yeah,
Mhm.
William. That's the one sucky part, is if it does do a bill, they might be like, hey. And the thing about it
Well, they're
is
already talking about how they want to do like a whole fucking like they
Oh,
want
like
to do
Culver's?
spin-offs and stuff
Mhm.
of which I mean, would I turn down another Barbie movie? No, I would not.
yeah.
But it doesn't need the sequel. I think, I think
Mhm.
the ending is I think it's perfect for what it
Mhm.
is. I mean, it would
Yeah.
be cool to see Barbie's life as like a living doll, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
You call it "Here We Go Again."
Nice. What did you guys think about the
Now that she has a JJ?
No.
Oh,
I was gonna say the Snyder Cut joke.
oh,
Oh man, it wasn't even anything. It was just like she said
Yeah.
it, and I was like,
I thought it
okay.
was fine.
my whole thing, I thought it was fine, but it was also like, I know how I'm going to sound here.
Dwayne said the beat off. Talking about
The
beach off?
beach off.
Oh,
Yeah. I was
I
watching.
love
I was
that
like,
shit.
yeah, I
I was
like,
laughing so fucking
well,
hard
I think we saw that like already.
in
Like
a
they showed
trailer.
like in
Yeah.
the trailer or whatever. So yeah, that was so. But I think I did like the ending. I thought it was I don't. Then he's right though, man. This shit makes a bill. They're gonna be like, yeah, we gotta reproduce and it's like, yo, is Greta gonna? You know what I'm saying? If Greta's satisfied with the way she ended Barbie's story, is she gonna want to come back to like?
Has she made a sequel before?
No, she's only she's only done 3 movies.
Yeah, so
which
like
is crazy when you think about it. When you look at like her movies and how awarded and nominated they are, and she I don't remember if it was for Little Women or if it was for Lady Bird, but she got nominated with Christopher Nolan for like Best Director.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
so it's pretty funny how people want to write her off when she's literally killing it.
Oh,
She's only the 5th woman to be nominated for Best Director.
That's too many.
And she's killing it.
That's 5 too many.
And she's gonna be the first woman with $1 billion movie. That's for sure. That's just getting $1 billion before the summer's out for sure. It's still on pace, so I think a lot of people are gonna go back and see it and stuff. I think it'll hit the number before.
I mean, I think if we see it with next week's numbers, well, the numbers for this weekend come in, and it shows that it's like 700 million.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
be like, dude. In 2 weeks, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it's killing it. So it's good and it's also good that the audiences are absolutely enjoying it and stuff like that. So you feel just like Ken? Did I wear a pink shirt? Nah, man, I wore a Barbenheimer shirt to the show, homie.
You wore assless chaps.
Yeah, man. My yeeks were out for the entire movie, man.
He was bent over.
Yuck.
Yuck.
Oh man. Oh shit. So yeah, that yo, but I think it's gonna get a bill. I think it's gonna get a bill. Patty Jenkins will direct the sequel. Nah, bro. You know what? After seeing this one, I wouldn't want it directed by anybody else, and that's what's fucked up because it is as if Greta's not feeling a sequel and they want to do one, like, does she come back so that nobody fucks her shit up? You know what I mean? And
yeah, because she did say that she's not interested. Not that she's not interested in a sequel, but she didn't write it to have a sequel.
Yes, exactly. So like that's the thing, man. Because I don't want to see it. If another Barb movie's coming out, I don't want to see it directed by anybody else just because of what she did with the first one. So that's where you'll be.
Yeah. So if you do it.
Get Greta.
Or you're gonna
regret
it.
I think I made that joke in like your comment section earlier this week. No regrettas.
No regrettas. All right. So there's Barbie. Great movie.
Thanks.
Yeah, I give it 5 stars, and the Snyder Cut joke wasn't even bad. The more Zach's name is out there, the better.
Yeah,
it's literally in like the biggest movie of the year.
Mm-hmm. So... that's what I was gonna say.
Oh,
I know how it's gonna sound. As a joke, I didn't think it worked. Like I just didn't think it was funny. But it
I didn't think it was funny either.
It like wasn't detrimental to what happened.
Which one? What are you talking about?
The Snyder Cut joke.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were talking about something else.
Oh no. Like the I thought it was not bad, but just like she said it and I was just like,
I was just like, okay.
The delivery, I was just like,
I was too busy crying from the monologue to even fucking notice.
Because that did happen.
I was like, oh, okay.
Meg was crying and they say the Snyder Cut joke and she's like, no.
This is a point right here.
Yeah, I mean,
Todd Phillips, he said, "There's this. I made this. Joker is done. There's no sequels, and now look what's going on." So,
like I said, I wouldn't say no to a Barbie sequel, but I feel like,
Greta.
Greta, I'd want her to be directing it still, and I don't think it's necessary. But if they do it, it's not like I'm gonna be like, "Fuck you."
All right, so there you have it. I think we all are pretty much singing the praises of Barbie. Like I said, when this shit was announced, I was like, yo, how are they gonna do this? How are they gonna do this and make it to be believable and make it to like where the story actually flows? And they Greta pulled that shit off. Like literally when you get the gist of why she's feeling the way she feels before she goes to the real world, you're like, that makes sense. So go see it if you haven't. If you don't want to go to movies and see it when it comes out on fucking digital.
No, you have to go see it.
Yeah, go see it. What?
Come on. Ultimate punch.
So to finish off, the second part of Barbenheimer weekend was Oppenheimer. All right. Movie.
Hold on, we gotta change the color.
Destroyer of world's finest.
Yeah. Oh man, I forgot all about that, dude.
Nah, it's fine.
But so Oppenheimer, if you didn't know, came out last weekend. Obviously, it's the story of the not going. Glad you guys have fun though.
Okay.
Go see it, William. Go see it. But Oppenheimer's
Imagine
story
not even giving it a chance.
Ooh, lame.
Give it a chance, William. Give it a chance, man. You might like it. You might enjoy yourself. But wait, what's that? Oh, okay. Oppenheimer, which is pretty much the creation of the atomic
Thank you,
bomb.
Robert Pattinson, for giving
Christopher Nolan
American Prometheus.
Yes, he handed that book as a gift to Christopher Nolan during press for Tenet.
Yep.
And
thank you.
Yeah, because what we got was nothing short of a fucking masterpiece as far as this movie goes. Look, it's for a 3-hour film that's literally 3 fucking hours. Like this is it's pointed at 3 hours, but I think it's the credits, it might go a little bit over 3, so it's pretty much like 3 hours of full movie, like not even including the credits. For me to go see something like that in theaters and sort of by any stretch, like not even, I was glued to that shit the entire time. You know what I'm saying? From the start of the movie to finish. And that's for me, seeing even with like 3 hours, like in game, and shit, there are sometimes I was like, oh shit, what time is it done? What are we doing here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just long. This one was like, and then when it gets to the end, and you're obviously where they're going through these court scenes and these sort of briefings and things of that nature, where they're trying to prove this and prove that. When it came to Oppenheimer, like that shit had you on the edge of your seat. Like it was literally like, what is going to happen? Even though, and I hate when people say like you can't, there's no way to spoil this movie. You're like, yeah, you can. Did I spoil? What happened?
Nothing.
Oh. Yeah. But yeah, like everything Nolan did, there's obviously there's a reason for it in his head. I'd literally like to see in that dude's head just one time, just to see like how he approaches a movie from start to finish. Maybe there'll be something on the physical media when it comes out about like how he started this process or whatever. I don't know if you've ever watched any special features on Nolan's like the Blu-rays and shit. There's not like much of him like actually talking about his process of how he did certain things. I know there's a lot of
he doesn't like to give his secrets up.
No, he doesn't. And it's like for this one, like, please, I want to know, like, when you read this book,
tell me.
When you read this book, like, how did you sort of like get from here to there when it came to this story? But I fully expect that when award season comes, this is forefront. You know what I mean? Like as far as
it's gonna be like Dune that 1 year.
Yeah. Sweepenheimer.
Yeah, dude. That's a good. I do like that. Sweet.
I came up with it.
What?
Oh,
That's
fine.
The scene where they do the test, literally like ass cheek clenching, even though you know it was successful.
Oh, dude, I had chills the whole fucking time.
Yeah, even though you know it's successful because
Yeah.
it's history. I also hate when people try to say you can't. Yeah, there's some spoilers in this movie, like literally, like when it came to Robert Downey Jr.'s character, how he turned out I didn't know that.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
I was
Unless you know,
unless you're like a history buff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not going to know that. But I thought that it's a transcendent cinema, man. Like it reaches farther than when I watch a movie and then like 3 days later and I'm just sitting around doing whatever and that movie's in my mind. That's like some profound shit.
Yeah.
Performances, Cillian Murphy. Is he just gonna? They just gonna give him the fucking Oscar like literally right off? That it was insane.
They're gonna put a little hat on it.
Yeah. See, you know what? They could. I'm telling you, man. Nolan said no fucking hashtags because they could have put the little hat next to it like they did Indiana Jones. They didn't have to put the mushroom cloud or anything. They could have put something. Because I hate it whenever I would hashtag Barbie and then go to hashtag Oppenheimer. It's just plain. It's just like, yo, it's just Oppenheimer shit. But it's.
I feel like they probably wanted to be like, not make him like a caricature, you know?
Yeah.
Or not, and not like, not.
He's still a real person.
Not make the movie seem like, you know.
Yeah.
Because it is like it's like fucked up.
Yeah.
So they probably wanted to keep it as respectful as possible because obviously tons of fucking people died because of what happened. Spoilers.
Yeah.
So they probably were like, yeah, let's not give him an emoji.
Let's not make light because make light of I got you.
Yeah.
He also probably after the Tenet Fortnite trailer release, he was probably like, I don't want to do any of this stupid shit anymore.
Yeah, he's like, I'm Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Real quick before I pass it on to y'all, I do think this is his best. Just from start to finish, considering the context of it, and before I pass it on, the last scene where you get to revisit his conversation with Albert Einstein, fucking chills. That's like literal. And then he stares at the camera for like 15 seconds and then it just bounces. It's like Oppenheimer. And you're like, you know what I'm saying? So perfect across the board. Josh Hartnett, like I was telling you guys, I didn't think he was going to be in it this much. He fucking murdered that shit, bro.
He was good.
I love seeing him every time. And like when he first showed up, I was like, is that Chris Hemsworth? No, that's my boy. Because he had that, he kind of looked like Chris Hemsworth with like short hair and like glasses.
They do have like the same eyes.
Yeah. Oh man, that scene where you know Oppenheimer's homie makes him eat some orange and then like fucking he walks in the hallway and he turns around and leaves. I was like,
oh yeah.
You know, I'm talking about that scene where he's probably about to come in there and have to sort of testify.
Yep.
Oh, I was like, oh man. But go, whoever wants to go.
I would probably, you know, go so far as to say it. I also think this is his best. Like I love Nolan, but like this was just on, you know, he was on another level here. And like speaking of the final scene, the guy next to me who was 40 minutes late, which at that point,
why show up?
Just go to the next showing. Just go to the next one.
Yeah.
But the final scene, he was on his phone for like 2 minutes and he missed like the exact, like the final moment of the movie. And I'm like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But
yeah, it's like the one callback scene you don't want to fucking miss. It's not even a callback for him. He's just like, oh, cool, Einstein's in it.
Like, who is this? Which, by the way, as soon as Einstein spoke, I realized it was the prisoner from Dark Knight Rises.
Yep.
I
remember him. Yeah.
Did not make that connection until like he.
I told you.
Until I heard his voice. Huh?
I told you it was him.
But no, kind of in the same sense that of like BVS, it really flew by because, one, you knew where like things were going to end, kind of like you knew you were going to see like the nuke scene and all that other stuff, but like the performances really obviously like in every with every movie, but the performances here really drove the movie. And I I never found myself bored. I never like was never looked at my phone like wondering how much time was left. I was like, yo, this is really well done, a really good like telling pretty much his entire history,
Yeah.
which I didn't know everything about him. I just he was, which is like kind of the point of like he wasn't just the father of the atomic bomb. He was this dude, and it's like, oh shit, okay.
He was also out there clapping too many cheeks, bro. I was like, damn, he was grimy.
Poppin' Rizzler.
Sloppenheimer. Anyways, yeah, he's not allowed to talk to my wife anymore. He's not allowed to talk to my wife anymore. So, but yeah, no, it was I think Anthony, said, because you saw like the day before us, pretty much every performance was just like really well casted, like nothing, no misses. I see, I can kind of pick out which actors I think are going to get the nominations come award season. Emily Blunt, oh my god,
oh man, dude, that line she gives him when he sort of when Florence's character commits suicide or whatever, and she goes and finds him out in the wilderness. I can't remember it. Fucking what's his name? He tweeted that line out, and I was like,
you don't get to commit a sin and then expect to be
punished for it. Basically,
yeah.
I know. I was like, that's literally the moral of the movie.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And then like in the court scene, or I guess interrogation scene, when she's talking to what's his name? I can never remember that actor.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Like,
is his name Bob or Rob in the movie?
Yeah, something like that.
About?
The guy who was like interrogating.
Oh yeah, his name. Did you talk about dude from Planet of the Apes?
Yes,
yeah. Yeah, I can't remember his name.
But like just her line delivery and like the way she was really just not being phazed by him.
Yeah, she's like, you gotta fucking stand up for yourself, dude.
Well, but also just like the way she was talking to him of just when she like
16, 17
or maybe 18, and just like just throwing him off. I felt like I was the one like
I was
interviewing her.
yelled at by my
And
mom.
I was like, okay, God, sorry, but yeah, no, like her, Robert Downey Jr., like he, I was not expecting him to be that have that big of a part in the movie.
Yes, yeah, me neither.
He, he really blew me away, and like obviously Cillian Murphy, like, was just so good. Like it was, you look at this and you're like, well, obviously nobody could ever be cast as Oppenheimer
except for
Cillian Murphy.
Yeah. Bro, he was eating peanuts a day to like.
He ate an almond a day.
Mm-hmm.
Why even eat anything?
Because he's got to breathe, bro. Give me some. Yeah.
He was going nuts.
It's my almond break.
He was going nuts. So that's another drop we gotta get this. No, and just visually and like obviously the sound, as always with Nolan, was just insane. And I don't know, I feel like they really captured the guilt. Like obviously before you see this movie, how bad it was.
Yeah,
that like the way they tested these nukes, but the way that especially obviously Oppenheimer is able to portray that guilt, like you feel that too, of just like, oh man, like, it's like we're not bad because we as people created the nuke. It's still just like we have those bad tendencies, whether or not it was inadvertent. Like he obviously didn't want to kill all those people, but his invention did, and now he's got to live with that. And I thought he just expressed that very well. And it was right now I might put it at my movie of the year. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's
really up there. And like again, the test scene was just on just insanity. Like there was a moment where like obviously when it gets like super bright, I was like, are we supposed to be looking at this like as an audience?
Should I close my eyes?
I was like, they have goggles on. What do we do?
Yeah, for real. Oh, dude, the one dude who was like, I ain't putting nothing on. I was like, your windshield's gonna fucking blow.
I know.
I thought it was gonna go all up in his face.
Yeah. Bro. Yeah. Real quick before you go, I will say, this for me, and I think I told y'all already. Matt Damon is upper echelon now for me. That dude is top tier. Fucking
really good.
Give him what you give Denzel or Meryl Streep, whatever. Or because between Air this year and then this, like when he came in there, when Oppenheimer went and did it, and he got pissed off, and he came in there just cut, like literally giving them the business for like leaving.
Yeah,
I was like, bro, this dude is fuck, and he puts like literally he had to like put this weight on in a certain place for Air. You saw how he looked, and then he sort of had to kind of distribute that shit differently for this. Matt Damon is way the fuck up here for me now. Like that dude he's been for a while, but like after this year, man, you can't. He just kills it, man. Every single time, it just seems like whatever role he's given, whatever he takes it, makes it his own, and man, he just fucking killed it, man.
Well, and that kind of goes more, hand in hand with like casting. Like every, again, every role was perfectly cast.
Yep.
And like even, more on the funny side, like Josh Peck was the scientist who like
push the button.
Yeah. And like at no point, I mean, obviously you look at you're like, oh, that's Josh Peck, but like I also was able to look at him and be like, I believe that he's this character. He's not just Josh Peck playing this dude. Like I was like, he's, he wasn't that big of a role in the movie, but still it was like he played his part well, Also another funny thing, I liked what they did with it, but it felt a little bit like like an Avengers kind of setup when they were like, his name's Kennedy, John F.
Oh,
Kennedy.
yeah.
And I was like,
I forgot.
It reminded me of the scene in The Dark Knight Rises where Robin has to go get his stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, that's what it. Not that it was bad. That's just what it reminded me of.
That or the end of Begins when he's like, he leaves a calling card and he flips over. It's John F. Kennedy.
What'd you think about it, Meg?
Well, I got to see it in 70 millimeter.
All right, thanks for coming out, everybody.
Well, let me just tell you my experience. So, they send an email out saying, "Oh, it starts promptly at the showtime, so be there before." So, I told you I showed up like 2 fucking hours early.
Yeah.
And so we were sitting and waiting, and like there was an issue with the reel with the machine because it's 11 miles long, like the film reel. So
I saw your video of it. It was dope.
Yeah. So they had to like make a whole like rig for it. So it started, and then it started playing, and then it stopped, and then it started like very abruptly. But that is the most beautiful movie I've ever seen in a theater in my fucking life. Like there's the one scene I specifically remember just like looking at it and being like, I can see like the individual like hairs on Emily Blunt's face is when is the scene where she's out by the clothing line and with the sheets up, and Oppenheimer comes and is like, "Oh, you'll know if it's successful or whatever," and he drives away, and then it's just
I'll
like,
tell you to take the sheets down or whatever.
Yeah, and then it's just like a shot on her face with like the sheets blowing. I was like, that is fucking like that is. I couldn't believe how like crystal clear it was, and I love film grain. I know like some people are just like, Yeah, it was so amazing. But some people don't like film grain, and they don't like the little, little fuck ups that happen on the screen, like that are like natural on the film.
Yeah.
I love that shit because like especially when you're watching it in black and white, the scene between like the very end where Strauss is like found out basically,
Yeah.
and he's
yeah.
like in that room with what's his name? The guy that played
Robert
Solo.
Malik?
No, the guy that played Solo on
Oh
Solo.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh, dude, it took
they're
me the whole
talking.
movie to figure out who that was. It's right when it Lance Ulrichsen or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
But it looked like the movie looked like an old film. Like it looked
Yeah.
like an old Hollywood movie, and I was like, I was so taken aback. I was like, that's Robert Downey Jr. Like that's not like that's so crazy.
Yeah.
But the score was phenomenal. The VFX, well, the VFX, there's no CGI.
Yeah,
VFX was
Looked great.
amazing, and I know he said that like Terrence Malick is like one of his big influences. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen The Tree of Life.
Oh yeah.
But there's like I don't know, it's like a 15-minute long sequence of just random like shots of like nature and like space and stuff. And I got such Terrence Malick Tree of Life vibes when he's like visualizing the bomb when he's like when he's in college, I think is what it is. And it's like all these explosions and like visions of space and stuff. And I thought that was really well done. And I think one of my favorite performances that I haven't really seen a lot of people bring up is Ben Safdie. I fucking loved him in this movie.
Yeah, he was good.
I thought his accent was really good, and he was like obsessed with making this hydrogen bomb. He's like, all right, you guys can work on that. I'm going to work on a hydrogen bomb.
Yeah.
And the Trinity test, it's funny because when you're watching the movie, you get to the Trinity test part and you're like, okay, well, the movie's probably going to end soon. Like, this is the test, and then they're going to take the bomb and they're going to, because that's like basic, like my basic knowledge was just that, like he makes the bomb and they test it and then they're like, all right, how can we use this? I didn't know about like the Strauss thing, and I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that like Oppenheimer was like fucking crucified by like the U.S. intelligence.
They took
for like
security clearance.
Yeah. I didn't know any of that. So seeing that, I was like, it's interesting how like the government will use like the smartest of the smart, like the upper echelon of like scientists and stuff. But like as soon as they got
what they need from you,
they got what you need, then you're done, man. Like you're the one that gets the blame for it. You made it. And it's like we have like people that have like these brilliant minds, like this like absolute geniuses, and we use their brains and their intelligence to fucking make weapons of mass destruction. And it's just sad because it's like when you think of the atomic bomb, I mean, I don't think of it as like a scientific feat, I think of it as like a horrible weapon of mass destruction that killed hundreds of thousands of people. But this movie showed me that there's someone behind it, like, and he was his own person and he had his own complicated views and his own whatever, and he was treated like bad, like his thing was like he wished he could have used it against Hitler and not on like the Japanese.
That's what
which I don't know, it's a very eye-opening movie. It was like absolutely devastating from like start to finish. There was no point in that movie where I felt any emotion other than just like dread.
Even after they dropped it, and before he walks into that sort of, everybody's in the gym and they're like crunk and they're like wanting him to give the speech. I was like, I wouldn't want to give a fucking speech after that. And then of course it shows, and that lady's face is peeling off, and there's like a bunch of other visions he gets while he's in there. It's like there was nothing. There's nothing to celebrate about that except for the war is over. That's it. That's the only thing they could say is the war is over. It's oh man, like I said, that shit stayed on my mind for a good like 3 fucking days after I watched it. And there's also like these. I did want to bring up the one quote which we saw in the trailer where he says, "I got it right." Says they won't fear it until they understand it, but they won't understand it until they fucking use. And that's real talk. Like they won't know how bad this is until they actually use it, and they're like, "Oh." We might not want to use it, and they haven't never used it again since you know what I'm saying, because of how bad that was.
Well, it's like you think of it like people have nuclear weapons. Unless you've seen like the devastation it causes, like we wouldn't know how fucked up that would make. Like if someone were to launch a fucking nuclear missile at us, I have no idea what it would do or what it's capable of because I've never seen that.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, we've seen like in movies sort of probably in the last 20 years, if there is a movie where they do drop you, they'll sort of show it like Terminator or whatever, like you sort of see it. But when I was in school and I learned about this particular, just not about Oppenheimer, but just about that, like the Japanese bomb Pearl Harbor and to get back the U.S. return the favor with the nukes. Like there's pictures that used to be in our history books that would show like the actual, and of course you, like I said, you see it in movies now because they get really graphic. If they're showing like a nuke hitting something, they're gonna really fucking show it. One thing I did absolutely love about this was we did not see the nuke hit Japan. Like I didn't want to see it. Like once we saw the test, I was like, I don't want to see it hit you because then it would seem like, I don't know. It felt to me like if he did show that it would sort of take away from like the impact of the movie, because I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like we know what it did.
You don't need to see it. Like it's implied. It's definitely implied that like it ruined lives. My God, dude, I didn't know for generations. Yeah, you don't need to see it.
Didn't know Gary Oldman was going to be in that bitch. I didn't know that either. What the fuck? Like I
forgot he was going to be in that shit, and then he like opened the door, and I was like, "That's fucking Gary Oldman."
Yep, the man of 1,000 faces, bro. He can do it all, and he called him a fucking. Remember when Oppenheimer left out of the Oval Office? He called him a little girl. He called him something like
he called him like a crybaby.
Don't let that crybaby back in here. I was like, damn. Cold-blooded, man.
You know, one thing I did really like is that scene where he's making the speech in the gymnasium after, I liked how it finally gave a visualization to like PTSD and stuff. Like and how like it manifests in different ways. Because, all too often people just think like, oh, soldiers maybe only get PTSD or whatever, but he definitely is suffering from like a sort of PTSD that like he sees, like he's envisioning these people that he cares about and like a country that he cares about, like, and how like, oh shit, like what if it was reversed, and like what if the Russians or the Germans had gotten this, and like they would have set it off without recourse, like at all, like not even have cared. And so I did like how it showed that he struggled with the morality of like the choices he made and like agreeing to do this. And I just thought that was like a nice touch that they put on it, because you can tell that he was like struggling like the whole movie with maybe visions and his choices, but to actually see it from his point of view was nuts.
Yeah, no, that one at the gymnasium, and then the other one with Florence, bro. That shit that happened when he was in the hearing room, like when it showed that, I was like, what? Yeah. I was like, yo, and I don't know if that was. I guess that was supposed to be some of Emily Blunt's like sort of like, because Florence looked her right in the eyes, like, yo, I'm popping his cheeks right now, and she was just like, yo. And there was a point in time when I didn't even think she knew about it until when she had to go find him, and she's like, "Motherfucker, I knew that she was out there clapping her cheeks," and that's what she gives in that line and shit. So,
I will say that scene, the hearing or the interrogation when she has that vision of Florence's character and him. I was like, this is like, I never expected this kind of scene from Christopher Nolan. Like, it seemed like a very A24-esque, very
psychological.
Yeah, very I don't know. I just maybe wasn't expecting it to be so
I wasn't expecting
visceral.
it at
You know, I was just like, whew.
yeah, like this shit's really and it's also like, I mean, they're professional actors, and they you know,
Yeah.
by the least bit, this movie, like filming it probably was like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder how it went down, like actually filming that scene, because there's everybody's there, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not just Nolan with a camera, like,
Yeah.
all right, we're just gonna no, everybody is in that entire room, so. But I think it wasn't unnecessary. Like when it happened, I was shocked, like we're all talking about. But then afterwards, you said that I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I get like sort of why that went down like that, like why he put that in there or whatever. And he talked about it because Nolan's never really put that kind of shit in his movies. You know what I'm saying? You don't you don't see titties in Nolan movies. You know what I'm saying? You don't see any of that kind of stuff. And there's like this long scene where like Oppenheimer and she were sitting in this room and they're both just naked. And it's like a really good scene. And you sort of see this like this push and pull match between the two, which was fucking incredible. It's and I I don't want to sound like an asshole, but it's almost like the scene. I can't believe that the scene that pulled it off, considering that like Florence's fucking titties are right there in your face this entire time, and you're like seeing it, but like that's not even why I'm interested in the scene. It's because of the relationship between the two characters, and like I know when Oppenheimer starts sort of acting like I ain't coming back to see you. So you know what I mean? Like I only came because you asked me to or whatever. So dude, he was bad. Man, that shit caught me by surprise too. The wife, the other lady that they knew, then they were at the end. He was like, "Oh yeah, that's not true." He's like, "What?" He's like, "He didn't never find out." He's like, "He didn't kill him. He didn't die because of that because he never found out." So he was really clapping them cheeks too. I was like, "Damn, he's out here clapping, bro." Just, no, like you know what I'm saying?
I know, dude.
That lady shows up like when she first walks up when he's talking to Florence Pugh, and she's like, "What are y'all talking about?" Like early in the movie and shit, like before was he talking to Florence? Yeah, he was at that point in time, I think. Or
no, he was talking to Emily Blunt.
Yeah, she says she's like, "What are y'all talking about?" Being nosy because she's like, "What you trying to damn?" She was married, but Emily Blunt was married when he started clapping him. So like, yo, but I'll say, man, it's definitely a purchase on physical media when it comes out because I like to hear the walls of my house rattle. The sound was, bro, when it would do some shit, they'd be like, I can't remember exact lines, but say they were just like, "Yo, how you doing, Oppenheimer?" And he'd get like a quick vision of the bomb, and it'd be like, boom, and then it stop, and then it just go back to the scene. I was like, holy shit, that's just fucking, you know, and it just show like the sparks or whatever, like the, you know, the reactions happening or whatever between the atoms and stuff. And I was just like, and then like I know it's the one scene was in all of the trailers when Matt Damon's like, you know, so you're saying we could push this button and fucking the world could just be destroyed? And he's like, well, it's probably close to a 0% chance. And he's like, what?
Near zero?
He's like, no, I would like a 0% chance. And I was like, I was sitting there like, yo, and knowing that shit wasn't gonna happen because we're still here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we're still alive. So
where are
we? What?
No,
I just it was good. Great weekend at the movies, man. Matter of fact, I watched, like I was talking about earlier, I watched 3 new movies this past weekend. I never do that shit. Like I might watch one if I go see something, but you know, your boy just be sitting here rewatching Watchmen and shit like 1,000 times. So like it's but I watched those 2 movies, and then also They Clone Tyrone, which was fucking incredible too. But yeah, man, you got any final thoughts on either one of the movies?
I mean, if you haven't seen them, go see them.
Yeah,
they're, you know, it's kind
it's
of the movies of the summer right now. Like,
yeah,
I know Mission Impossible. What
movies of the year?
Probably
of the decade.
I probably. You know, I Mission Impossible had to be pushed back. That's, you know, that's why we're here with it. Like when it came out, I bet you fucking Tom Cruise is like, God damn it, I wish that shit would have came out last year, man. Seriously, because like look where it fell. Like it fell like a week before these incredible movies came out. And Mission Impossible was incredible too. I liked it. Was really good. I loved it. Yeah, but it just happened to fall right in there where it was like shit. Like, what do you do? Huh?
Make things it's woke.
What, Mission Impossible?
Yeah, Tom Cruise is probably trying to find a way to resurrect L. Ron Hubbard right now to get back at him.
I sent her that pin, and then she just immediately threw it away. So
yeah.
Oh shit!
No, I'm just kidding.
So, real quick, before we bounce, y'all, one of our favorite movies turned 15 this week, right? It's one of the funniest movies of all time. I would actually, it's like top 3 for me, funny movies, because it no matter how many times I've seen it, and we did a watch along a couple years ago on here, watching it, and no matter how many times I've seen it, it never fails to make me laugh. It puts a smile on my face, and it's probably Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly's best movie together. They had some bangers, Talladega Nights and shit.
Holmes and Watson.
So
no great,
huh?
No great.
There's a gag reel that I started to watch it on my show the other day, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna save this shit. We're watching it on here because it's absolutely fucking funny as fuck. So let's we'll watch this gag reel to celebrate 15 years of one of our favorite movies of all time. I don't know who made this. It's movie best bits or something. Huh?
Me. It was actually me, not Joey.
All right, so let me do this. Let's see. Put us like this. And oh, there we go. Looking fine.
Wow, let's
can't see. Oh, there we go.
All right, here we go. Can y'all hear that?
Hold on.
What's one thing that you can't talk to me about?
My sexual fantasies.
Mom, I mean, come on. This is horse shit.
Did you lose permanent function?
It's a waiting game right now. We won't know.
Did not mean it that way.
Let me turn it up.
Why did you mean it? If that was what you're into, you could do it.
Majestic Wolf Lamp and his family. This is Galco, which is Hebrew for kindness.
Galco?
What the pup? Pup is unnamed because you can't put a name on the innocence of that face.
I've also been looking into how to raise rabbits for meat.
Sorry, dude.
Okay. Okay. Don't throw me out the window. Come on. No. No.
Say you're sorry.
Are you listening to me, guys? Look at me. Yes.
Teach these kids some manners.
Someone should teach you how to keep your trap shut.
Bro, look at that big ass fake turkey, man.
You just farted.
Yeah, good times.
Did you really just fart?
We're not having that fun.
You just fart?
No, you know I'll claim it if I did. You're stuck on a desert island. Favorite female news. This is impossible. Here we go.
Have you ever done it so much you had to put your dick in the freezer? Have you ever done it so much in one period of time? July, I was doing so much fucking. Last summer was like my biggest summer for pussy. You ever cut a fart in a girl's face while you're doing it.
What?
Come on, you got so much clothes you had to ice my balls.
Yo.
The biggest helicopter leasing event in the Western Hemisphere since 1997. You understand?
The man's penis?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There's no fucking way I'll be able to.
Oh my god.
Take this. I'm gonna drive it into your temple. A fight that's coming.
I don't want that.
That'd be a huge market for opera rap, right? We need to get to work right away. Drop the Yankee, give that hoe a shout.
Get my coat out. Duck out.
Hell yeah.
Oh man.
Dale and I want to welcome you to our home with open arms.
This sucks and it's horseshit, but I'm too polite to say anything because I'm a class act.
Making a big mistake.
I'm missing the Raiders game. That's what I got. I remember when I had my first beer.
Huh.
I had my first beer.
I remember when I had my first beer.
Do you even know what that means?
The concussion.
It's not my first time.
What?
to drink. Robin Williams and I talked about all this shit before, so.
Hey, folks! Still haven't sold that
Oh.
place. That was a nasty murder.
Hope you like chili.
Oh.
Got a pot on. Sauerkraut.
I'm sure they got the smell out by now, though.
Don't worry, we only shoot our porn films on the weekends.
Yeah, they still haven't found that guy's head.
Got a series of underground tunnels that connect actually to your house, so we can have cool dinner parties.
Did you tell me about the
Is he
big
cutting
schools?
grass? What is he doing?
Boys,
He's pretending to mow.
He's just going back and forth.
You know, you only have one Earth.
hope the searchlights don't bother you. I got a lot of them.
We're starting a mommy and me program here across the street.
Hey, pregnant lady, you're pretty hot. If you need a doula, let me know.
I hope you want to. Pay-per-view fanatic.
I'm gonna fucking neutralize you.
I don't understand English.
Shush up for a second.
Shush up for a
For 1 second.
No,
Not to
no.
be rude, but shush up for a second.
Politely shut up. Don't tell me to shut my mouth. I'm a grown man, okay?
Shush it up. It's gonna be good. Okay, shush.
Shut your mouth.
Mom, it's dangerous to meet someone online.
Brennan, I didn't meet him online.
He could be a sexual predator.
Mom, he took me in the bathroom at the wedding. He showed me a picture of his wiener. He had it professionally photographed.
I hate Uncle Brendan. He smells like weakness. He smells like a rest stop. He smells like an outhouse. You must be so tired of trying to explain away his failures.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
Oh,
Hey, you better have some of your world famous cheesecake in there, huh?
Oh, I made a peach cobbler.
Huh. So we didn't go see Kenny Chesney so we could come here and eat peach cobbler. Didn't go to the Dane Cook CD signing. We didn't go see Chris Angel Mind Freak. We didn't go see IMAX Into the Volcano. We didn't stay home and watch Mythbusters. We didn't stay home and watch Best Week Ever. We didn't go see the new Vin Diesel movie so we could come here and eat peach cobbler. What the fuck, Mo?
That's Joey.
No offense, Nana, but
No, it's not. What the fuck?
don't take this the wrong way, Nana, but this food makes me sad. Nana, are these mashed potatoes?
Well, yes, they are.
Well, they taste like shit. Nana, do you think I'm a hobo?
What? No, of course
Bro,
not.
Why
got
did
so
you
many
eat
alternate
this long?
scenes for this
Yeah.
shit.
Uh-huh.
We just go have some power bars and watch American Psycho.
Talked to my dad having sex with married ladies, and he said, that's
Yeah, I think
wrong.
Adam McKay kind of told him like you can,
Mhm.
ad lib a little bit. Oh my god.
What's happening? You're putting food in your bra. Okay, do you have enough?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, no, Alice, please. Please.
Honey, come on. I want to get over to the Cheesecake Factory so we can have some real food. The Apprentice season finale, 20 minutes. Spike TV has a marathon of Blind Date tonight. Come on, I got to get home and oil my jacket. Let's go.
Oh my god.
I'm doing ice and mustard. Help yourself, though, because I got a whole tray right here.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Yeah.
That was a bad piece of ice.
My virginity when I was 8 years old. I had my nipples removed because I'm not a girl. On my and fax number on speed dial.
Look, just leave us alone, will ya? I already gave you my PlayStation 3. What more do you want?
I'm gonna cut your ass. I'm gonna shove your butt on a wedding cake where you belong. Snitches get stitches.
What's that mean?
I don't know. I'm 7. I've got a lot on my plate.
That's a big ass 7-year-old, man.
Wow.
I'm gonna touch him, all right. No! Bring your drum set out here and play it on top of your grave. I'm gonna dig a hole and bury your drum set right next to you. I'm gonna literally carve a hole in the side of your bass drum and fuck it. First you were family business, and now this. I am a fucking medical doctor.
What's your language?
Except I'm a fucking medical doctor.
I am a fucking medical doctor.
The medical school, School of Medicine, Dr. Robert Doback.
I am a medical doctor. I'm a medical doctor. We are men, full-grown men, and we teach children lessons. I hope you learn what it's like to be a man, asswipe. If you go to the cops, then we go to the cops. That's how it goes. Doesn't seem stable from down here, but I know it is. And that is all she wrote. Yep. Did you ever watch Rachel Ray, that cooking show? Oh, yeah. Hey, who do you think's going to win America's Next Top Model this year?
Oh my god, I didn't know it actually came down on him like that. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
Dude, when
My
he was
face
talking
hurts
about
now.
when he was talking about he said it had so much sex he had to put his dick in a fucking Jesus
He'd
Christ.
ice his balls.
We were so obsessed with that movie, like back in like middle or like high school, and we would watch like the bloopers, and we constantly would repeat to ourselves. We would just go, "It's a waiting game." We don't know.
Yeah, because the Pam scene is like it's so long in the fucking bloopers, like it's really long. Like I was like, bro, how do you decide which scenes you're gonna keep and which ones you're not? Like, it's a fucking insane, man. It's insane. But yo, that's the show, y'all. Drug says he's dying. Yo, what up, Andre? What's good, homie?
What up?
Kobayashi. I believe you're done. Yo, I can't find the I had the video where the dad was talking about McKay told him, hey, just walk over there and say I'm a dinosaur. Like, you know, that little story he was telling from his child. He just did that and they just like adapted to it. It's fucking insane. That's classic fucking comedy. I don't know if we're ever gonna get something that good again, considering that one little scene we just watched where it was back and forth between
a Nazi and a fucking
KKK member. Literally in the same spot, just pushing it back and forth. The more I was like, bro, this is insane. But yes, it's one of our favorite movies. So, had to shout it out. This 15 years, man. We'll shout it again when it's 20 years. Because it's
hell yeah.
It as far as we go, that shit's gonna stand the test of time. I'm pretty sure. I don't think we're ever gonna get to a point where it's not funny anymore. Just because we know that they can't do shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? We won't see anything like on that level of comedy again.
Yeah.
Probably ever. Because so anyway, y'all got any final thoughts, man?
No, I think we tackled a lot.
Yeah, we did.
Almost went the length of Oppenheimer there.
Yo, we are close. We are close. So, appreciate y'all watching. You can find us. The description is below the video, where you can find our @s and things of that nature. And we'll see you in 2 weeks for some more Awards Finest. And that shit stuck on the scene on there. What were you?
Trying to twist Joey's neck.
No.
Me. Actually, me.
Stop it. All right, we'll see y'all later. Peace out. Appreciate y'all stopping through to check us out. And we'll be back soon. Wait, what is that? Oh, okay.